Hey everybody, Jared here with Stormwater Creek. You're probably wondering why we gathered you here today. It's because next week, Abe will be dead. He's got 1 week to live. It's not a terminal disease. We're just going to murder him.
It's not a terminal disease.
There's no disease at all.
He's actually quite healthy, I think.
For a fat piece of shit, he's not too bad.
There's no way you're unhealthier than I am.
No.
Unhealthier.
Yeah.
Everyone's so
My
intelligent.
cholesterol
Yes,
is so
hell.
high I can't speak. I know how to talk good, okay?
I'm on pills for my cholesterol.
I'm not. There's just some times where I feel like my blood pressure goes up, and I'm like, "Oh God, I smoke a cigarette," and it doesn't help.
No.
And then
Nicotine raises your blood
Then I
pressure.
sit down, and I'm like, "Okay, let me drink a soda," and that kind of helps a little bit, but not really.
Do you have diabetes?
I don't know. Ask that to my missing leg.
How do you not know?
I don't have diabetes. I'm just really fat.
Are you positive?
Yeah.
For diabetes.
HIV positive.
Like HIV positive? Oh,
What's that off of? South Park?
that's from,
Well, I think it's the office. When positive on a medical
We're not
test
using
isn't a
any
good
of
thing.
this.
oh, that was when Kevin
We
had thought he had cancer and everybody was mad because they
Because
were
it
all
was negative, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we'll get through this, buddy."
Oh, God.
Apparently, negative's a good thing.
The whole Office set on DVDs was on Prime Day for $34.
I just watch it on Netflix.
It's going up.
It's
Netflix
they're
and
taking it
Warner
off in
Here.
like a week or two.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did you hear that people are boycotting Netflix because they put up that?
Cuties?
I get that, dude. That's weirdness.
Steph showed me the trailer, and it was like one of those things that's like, "Cool, I've seen 10 seconds of this. I don't want to watch it
Yeah,
anymore." And
you
she
just
kept
feel-
playing it. I'm
feel
like,
weird.
"Turn this off! Like,
Yeah.
do not want to watch
Dude,
this
it's
anymore."
weird.
It's
I
also
understand.
she started watching handmaid's tale.
I don't know what that means.
It's too real.
It's
really
a Hulu
good.
show, and
It's what?
it's on Hulu,
Hulu.
and it's like
Post-dystopian
it's dark.
world.
It is dark.
where basically the people are becoming less fertile, so the birth rate drops off, and so you got all these people dying. So essentially, there's this coup in the United States, and this uber conservative
Ooh,
group of
hold on.
people takes
Have
over.
you seen Children of Men?
No.
Oh God, it's a great movie.
I haven't seen
Continue.
anything.
I haven't seen that.
What are you talking about? You have like a DVD collection in a book, 2 booklets over here.
Yeah,
If you've seen those movies, it's like
a
a
good bit
Pauly
of
Shore
them.
collection.
Son-in-law.
son-in-law, Biodome.
All in there. Every Pauly Shore movie is in that book.
So,
Continue.
anyways, this uber conservative faction of people take over the United States, and they find and hunt down women who can still bear children,
They're the breeders.
and they essentially rape them.
It's really aggressive.
Yeah, it's
Like it's.
like
I don't pay attention. Like I, killing terrorists on the computer. I'll turn around just here and there, and I'll catch a snippet. I'm like, what the hell are you watching?
it's
Like,
really
it is-
good though.
Like, I mean,
It's very good.
She's obsessed with it. She's probably watching it right now, I'm sure. But there's just been some questionable things. I'm like, oh, Hulu put this out. Really? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this would maybe be on HBO, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's dark. It's real dark, but it's my wife loves it and has watched it twice all the way
It's a
through.
great show.
Did you watch Ozark? Didn't you, Lauren,
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Ozark?
Yeah,
It's
Ozark is dark, too.
it's
Yeah.
kind of, I feel like it might be a little bit darker than Ozark.
I mean it's
Sounds like it's got some more rape, which is darker.
there's definitely more rape than
Yes.
Ozark. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Stormwater Creek.
This week in political TV review,
Chasing TV.
Chasing
Handmaid's
TV.
Tale. 4 out of 5 stars. Check it out, all right?
Do it.
If you don't got a subscription, shoot Abe an email. He'll let you use this login.
Whoa. I'm right now in the throes of figuring out what streaming service I'm going to move to.
His password is Cowboy69.
Docking forever. 4 is a
You're
4.
switching to streaming services?
I am going to switch streaming services.
Because The Office is going off Netflix?
I have Netflix, Hulu, and AT&T now currently, and Lifetime and TLC has gone away, and my wife is not too happy.
Not having
She
it.
can't watch My 600-Pound Life anymore.
She can't watch 90 Day Fiance, and that's really what's causing the
Don't put
problem.
down
Or
stick there.
any of the awesome holiday movies that come out.
awesome holiday movies
Isn't that on the
Lifetime.
Hallmark Network though?
Our Lifetime.
Green
too.
Jacket, Gold
Oh,
Jacket.
We should do this. We have a guest on tonight.
Yeah.
You're hearing him speak occasionally. We have Austin number 2.
Austin 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Tell the people hi, Austin.
Hi.
Who are ya?
My name's Austin Mago. My mother's maiden name is Brown, so
No
Almost.
Oh my
shit.
God.
Really?
I'm
Look at
almost an Austin
Look how
Brown.
excited he just got.
Dude,
Oh,
what
no,
if
I'm
he,
just. I'm,
what
I've-
if he reveals on the podcast that he is in fact your half brother? That'd be pretty awesome, right?
Hey, bro.
Hey,
Bro.
brother.
You're probably wondering why we moved to the area.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you were a giant douche.
But you're not a douche.
You're
Here I
not a
am,
douche.
running around,
Running around
thinking I'm
thinking
this giant douche living in my house.
Oh my God. That
Do you want ducks? Yep.
you're going to garage and do karate?
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Is her maiden name really Brown?
Yeah. And her
That's crazy.
her relatives are from Texas. My name's Austin. I grew up in California.
You talked to your dad about a love child.
No,
I wouldn't be
My
surprised.
dad was born in Germany.
Oh.
He's not from. His grandpa was in the army.
Yeah.
Oh.
But our
Yeah, calm down over
But
there.
we won that one, so that's why he's over there. I get it.
Yeah.
back-to-back World War champs.
I did watch 1917 too on the
That
plane.
movie
I heard
is
that was
great.
good.
It is really good.
We went and saw it in the theater, and it was intense, dude.
I watched it on a phone on an airplane. It was just like, oh God, oh God.
A little less suspenseful, but
It was still, yeah, but
no, I had
can't even.
subwoofers and shit. And
Yeah.
I was at Alamo, so I had a couple beers, and I was just like, oh my God.
I want to get a surround sound for up here.
You should get a bar,
do it to it.
Excuse me?
like a sound bar.
Like we have downstairs?
I've got-
no,
I've-
I'm at full surround.
I got satellite speakers for you. You can use.
Because I sold Will my old surround sound set.
Yeah,
when
but
I
I've
moved.
got. They're sitting in my closet now. Take them, please.
Bring them.
Cool.
Because if we had a sub and some speakers, man, movie reviews.
You know how many movies we could watch up here?
All of them.
At least one.
At least.
After every duck hunt, I take a nap right here because it's dark and quiet. And
Yeah,
It is a
that's when
nice
you,
nap
place to
room.
sleep.
That's
Burn
when you
through
put
all
on The
the,
Office and fall asleep.
Pauly Shore movies.
I just get in bed and fall asleep because I'm tired.
I can't do that. I can't really sleep after I'm up. I got it. Like I try, but I'll lay there and I'm gonna fall asleep.
oh, man.
Come,
Does this
come
hap-
Sunday afternoon after you've been up since.
Does this happen when I
Friday
get
night.
into my late 30s, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it has to do more with waking up on
5:30.
Saturday at.
5:30
At
during the
5:30.
week. Yeah.
I fucking hate both of you.
What are you doing with that cord?
Abe came over
I'm a
one day
fidgeter.
and was talking about how tired he was. Because, guys, I get up at 5:30. Like, that's when the rest of us get up all the time.
Yeah.
Jordan
You
actually
probably
wakes up at-
earlier.
Yeah. Well, I try to sleep in. The alarm's set for 5, so on a good day I'll wake up at 5:30. I'll keep
Not
pushing
me.
it off.
I rolled out 7:30 this morning.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's never worth it to sleep in.
Yeah, I just. That's
You
what time I
probably-
wake
you
up on
probably
the
go
office.
to sleep in like gym shorts and you just roll out of bed and go straight to your
He
office.
slept in
100%.
this for 3 days.
No,
now.
I did not. I actually put decent clothes on to come over here.
When
Are those
pan-
decent clothes?
When pandemic first started, I mean,
I think it looks
It was
nice.
bad.
it was bad.
It was real bad.
When I was banished to working from home for those 3 months, there's multiple days like I don't remember I showered last.
Oh, 100%.
Like time had no
Yeah.
meaning.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I
Wake
didn't
up.
skip a beat. I was
Yeah.
busy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Oh, I'm
I've been
sure.
going to the office every day.
Yeah. Not for me.
You,
I still am not in the back in the office.
you still at home?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He's got like I used to have it when I first started working in an office. I had the drawer. Everyone's got the drawer. It's like, oh, here's my snacks. That's what he's got in his little office home. He's just got a little mini fridge in there, probably and a little microwave. You ain't got to go anywhere.
No, I actually
Heat up your
have a
little hot
kitchen.
pockets during
And the
the
kitchen's
day.
Brand
10
new
steps
kitchen.
away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't eat hot pockets. I'm not a fan of processed
Almost
foods,
called
bro.
you the other day. We were at the store. I didn't buy them, but we both like zebra cakes. They made them into rolls, like Swiss rolls.
Yeah, I've had
now.
them.
Zebra cakes
Yeah.
into Swiss rolls.
Strawberry shortcake rolls are the best. Change my mind.
We talked about this. I don't like
And Christmas tree cakes, which are about to come out.
yes, Christmas
can't
tree
wait for
cakes
Which
that.
are the
they're
best.
it's just different colored zebra cakes and Christmas tree shape.
And they have little
Yeah,
sprinkles on
yeah,
top too, though.
Yep.
The
little
shapes,
crisp.
man. That first bite of the tip of the
You
Christmas
like want to
tree.
eat half of that.
Do you eat the
motherfucker.
tip or the
Oh, you
the
always
trunk
start.
first?
You always start with the top of the tree.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
I don't want to say tip. I'm not starting at the tip. I'm starting with the top.
I'm
of the
starting
tree.
Top of the
tip.
tree, the star.
It's okay.
Just one fell swoop.
Your sexuality is not coming into question.
Like this, it'll be at least 2 of those in a blind bag.
Oh,
Oh, you don't rack them in a city, no problem.
dude, he's gonna get the guts.
Who?
You?
My stomach is wrought iron, son.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't bother me.
I can't eat that much sugar.
I haven't. It's really spicy foods. We went and had Lucky's out in Dallas. It's a new Nashville chicken spot. And
I
same
saw you
thing.
post that.
When we went to Prince's in Nashville, I got like the second hottest because I was like, I'm from Texas. I grew up eating Indian food. I got this. It destroyed my reality. We didn't eat there because this is how official this place is. They didn't have AC. They just had a bunch of fans going. I was like, I'm not doing that. Let's go eat at the house. So we got back to the Airbnb, and like 2 bites in, I'm like, there's milk in the fridge, right? And I'm like sitting, like my nose is
That bad,
melting.
huh?
It was terrible.
We
It
were
was like
supposed to be in Nashville during pandemic, and obviously we didn't get to go.
It
And I was
was-
looking forward to that.
it was unenjoyable. Like it was like, oh, this is too hot, And then so this place, I was like, all right, this is not gonna be like that. Whatever, I'll try it. First bite, I'm like, oh god damn it, again. But it wore off after about 10 minutes. So
Okay.
it wasn't like
It
Nashville.
was intense front heat.
Yeah, it was Steph. I mean, she's a champ with that shit. She handled it fine, but
What? How? Tell me how you made that into something.
Because I'm retarded.
Yeah.
what do you mean tell? I mean, how did you not figure it out as soon as you said it?
I did, but I just thought it was
Right.
like I could get away with that one.
Oh my god.
Front heat, I thought was like close enough to normal verbiage to.
You're
Heat
done.
on the front.
Anyways, so Austin, you're obviously a hunter. You're an outdoorsman.
He's actually a hardcore vegan,
Yeah.
and
I've been telling
He
people
only
that
hunts
lately.
for the,
Catch and
for the
release.
spilling of
he,
blood.
he only hunts for the blood release.
Exactly. You're an arborist too, which I kind of think is super awesome.
Yeah.
You make your own bows. You have a lot of success here on local lakes for duck hunting.
Make
and
our own beef jerky.
Yeah, you make
Shit with the door
biltong.
open.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Biltong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all these things are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we talked about when we were dove hunting.
Yes.
So yeah, and you moved here from California. So just give us a rundown of your story.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna get into
So,
the beer real quick.
grew up in Southern California, and my entire upbringing, like I always really enjoyed the outdoors. I was introduced to it by my dad.
Yep.
We'd go out up to the desert, and we'd chase quail, and I don't know that it's like
that sounds
known,
awesome.
but Southern California has a pretty good like chukar population.
Huh.
So I grew up shooting quail and chukar in the high deserts of Southern California, and as a kid, I always wanted to do it more. But in Southern California, there's not a whole lot of opportunity, and my family didn't really go on trips or drive many places. So, and everything was so expensive. Like I remember, like as a kid, my dad would say, "Hey, like sorry, like I don't have money for gas to go hunting this weekend, so we're just gonna like lay low this weekend instead of go hunting."
Blockbuster.
Yeah, so as a kid, in high school, my counselors were always asking me what I want to do when I grow up. I'm gonna flunk out of high school, so to prevent me from doing that, they're trying to help me understand what I want to do. And I would tell my counselors, I just want to hunt and fish for a living. Like, can't y'all help me out? But in Southern California, with your high school counselor, that doesn't go over
They're like,
super
oh
well.
my god.
Yeah, like what
You
is
can
wrong with this
surf.
person? Yeah. So by some miracle, I graduate high school and I go to college, and I end up going to like a private Christian college because my
Okay.
grades were so bad. That's the only
Jesus was the only person
yeah,
letting
that
you
was the
in.
only- that was my only
Yeah.
chance. And that's where I met. Long story short, that's where I met my wife. We do the whole fall in love thing, get married, and as soon as we get married, we moved to Texas. And I was really excited to move to Texas because I knew that like hunting and fishing was a lot bigger
More of a way
out
of life,
here.
yeah.
And it's more of a way of life. So I was really excited for my opportunity to, as far as hunting and fishing goes, to like really start like the adventure. And since we've been here, I mean, every single year, like I've been just diving deeper and deeper into every aspect of the outdoors, and it's been really awesome. Everything
That's
from
badass.
Southern California, like I grew up fishing too, and I got really into fishing in Southern California. Coming out here, got into bass fishing,
Yes.
and I've always been relatively good, like being able to get on fish as far as largemouth go.
Yeah.
But then trying to figure out crappie, and then realizing the white bass fishery out here is like really awesome
Dude,
in
can't
DFW.
wait.
Yeah, it's been all these little like golden nuggets out here that like you you won't really know exist unless you kind of like try to
Dive
put the
into it.
effort
Yeah.
to finding it. And man, it's like Texas is like as far as I'm concerned, like the land of opportunity if you want to like get into the sport of fishing or hunting. And it's
Really
been-
something to do year round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Oh,
every
yeah.
season there's
Yeah.
something new, and that's one of the things that like one of the first things I realized moving to Texas is that like the seasons are dramatically different,
Yeah.
right? So California, it's like 70 degrees year round. The temperature may fluctuate a little bit. You might get a little bit of rain, but I mean, for the most part, where I grew up was pretty arid, and the temperature was pretty consistent year round. So coming out here, man, I fell in love with the season changes, and then with every season, there's like a season to do something, whether
Yeah.
it's fishing a certain for a certain species, or like during spawns, or like the fall for different fish, and then just like the come and go of different hunting seasons. It's been awesome, and I've been doing like my damnedest to like take advantage of every season for everything.
Yeah.
So it's been a hell of a lot of fun.
So you just kind of figured it out on your own.
Yeah,
Pretty
for the most
much,
part, yeah. So
you know, I mean-
my dad got me hooked on fishing, like stock ponds in
Yeah.
in California. Like they stock a lot of the ponds with trout, and it's not like Texas to where it gets so hot that the fish will die.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of holdover in a lot of the ponds that like Texas Parks and Wildlife will stock. But in Southern California, I feel like the holdover rate's a lot better. So you can go. I feel like any time of year you could potentially get on trout, but there's definitely certain seasons where they stock a lot more. So that's
Yeah.
how I grew up. That's how I learned to fish, and then chasing fish on a fly rod or chasing trout on a fly rod in like the mountains in Southern California. Like I taught myself how to do that, and then try to apply all these techniques to like what I'm doing here in Texas.
Yeah.
So to fly fish, conventional tackle, everything. As far as fishing goes, there's not a whole lot that I'm not that I haven't been exposed to or tried once or twice. And then as far as hunting, like there's still a lot of hunting stuff that I want to attempt or give it a shot or get exposed to that that's kind of just on my list of things to do.
What's that?
Sure.
What's that number one thing you want to go and do?
I want to kill a black bear with my self
Yes.
bow. So that's
Yes.
like the top of the list. Black bear or whitetail. I'm still trying to man like a lion over hounds with
Yeah,
a
that'd
self
be
bow.
awesome.
Because I mean, a stick bow or self bow is such a close range weapon. Like it with certain hunting scenarios, especially over hounds, your method of take is very much like, what am I trying to say? It's like a
Personal.
well, no,
Close.
like when it's
pride
gonna be
factor?
when it's gonna be a close encounter, like because you're on hounds and they may tree an animal, like you're gonna have that close encounter, that close opportunity. It's not like what you choose to use is, I think, like nothing more than like a ceremonial gesture. Like if
Sure.
I'm gonna be there and
Yeah.
taking a 5 to 15 yard shot, it's like
You might as well, right?
the self bow thing that I do, I enjoy it so much. It's like that's kind of what like I would like to do.
How many bows have you built?
I've built dozens, if not. Yeah.
Have you killed anything with them yet?
Small game, rabbits, squirrels, and a coyote. That's the only thing. That's the largest thing. The 5 yard shot from the ground, right through the chest with a homemade bow and arrow.
Wow.
You know, I drew. That was on the Grapevine Army Corps property, and that particular year, I drew the lotto for the whitetail, and I hunted that season. The first time I've like ever hunted deer was that season. It was just 3 or 4 years ago, and researching the shit out of how to
Yeah.
hunt whitetail on public ground, do that whole thing, and I went after it real hard, and I tried everything from up in trees to ground hunting. Did a lot more ground hunting and like still
Yeah.
hunting, and that particular morning that I killed that coyote, I was sitting on a trail where I'd seen deer walk, and I was sitting up against a eastern red cedar tree, and the boughs were all around me, and I was hidden really well, and hoping a deer would walk down that tree like I've seen them do a few times. And here comes a couple coyotes coming down, and they were looking the opposite direction at 5 yards, and I sent an arrow right through, and it was affirmation for me that holy shit, like my bows work.
I can do
You know?
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I watched, so arrow skewered her, was sticking out both sides. She turned around and bit one half off of the arrow, spun around in a couple circles, ran 30 yards into the thick stuff, and then I just gave her like
Some
30,
time.
30
Yeah.
minutes, and then I just walked up there, followed the blood trail, blood pumping out both sides.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I've like blood trailed anything. Awesome experience.
Yeah.
You know, like really, really affirming and just exciting to like then go walk up on the animal that I like harvested, and I've heard a lot of mentors say like don't if you don't plan to eat it, don't kill it. So in sure fashion, I ate that bitch.
You ate the coyote,
Really?
huh?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I think
how was
Ranella
it?
and them ate it. And said,
Yeah,
"Eh."
you know what? That whole thing, the Ranella thing, it's like I don't think they did it right, because it's just like any meat. I think the way they did it was like, I think they need to do it over.
Yeah.
Well, so it was him and Remy Warren, and
Yep.
they
Yeah.
grilled the whole thing over a fire,
Probably real
like
dry.
and the whole thing's got to taste like singed hair. You
Yeah.
know, like I know a lot of cultures will do that. They'll throw the animal
Yeah.
hair or
Burn it off.
feathers and all, and they'll
Yeah.
throw it on the fire, burn it, roast it, eat the meat once it's cooked, right?
Yeah.
I pressure canned a lot of it, so I turned it into like stew and
Yeah.
Okay.
man, I mean it just tastes like any other meat. Like I've eaten all kinds of like varmints and
Yeah.
other small game, and at a certain point, like meat's meat.
Sure.
So
I
you-
tend to
a
feel
little-
that
a
way
little-
about most
yeah, a
things.
little salt and pepper. Like I'll eat a coyote again. I don't know
Yeah.
that I'd feel
Like
the
you're not
need-
like chasing coyote, going like, let's
you know,
fill
let's-
that freezer
yeah,
up.
like
yeah.
let's eat some dinner. But at the same time, it's like if I ever kill one again, I'll probably like debone some like hindquarters or shoulders and cut
Coyote
them.
tamales.
Yeah,
See,
cut them into
We got a
stew
good tamale
chunks.
guy too.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
tamales can kind of be anything.
You
right?
can
They
make
can,
it.
exactly.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's the same thing with
Tacos.
like the tacos.
Tacos
Yeah, it's
can
like
be anything.
that recipe I gave you. You can just
Is-
anything can go in there,
yeah.
and it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll eat.
Yeah, I think like meat. I think like meat's meat. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody talks about eating mountain lion, and I'm completely for that.
Yeah.
No problem. But I pulled my bow back at a bobcat that walked like 5 yards from me weekend before last,
Yeah.
and it was in Oklahoma. And as I did that, I was like, I don't know if I have the right paperwork for this. And I let down. Turns out I didn't, so that was good. But I would. I was thinking about that. I was like, I really want a bobcat for the skull, which I have one. A buddy gave me, and I want it to hide too. I Euroed that. You
Yeah.
know, Dan has one, but I'd like to have my own. But I started that day sitting in that blind after I pulled on that bobcat. I was like, I need a bobcat.
Yeah.
It's a mini mountain lion.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
mini-
and I've heard they're
Fine.
they're just the same. Like they
Like
taste
pork.
just the same. Yeah,
Like pork.
And that's what everybody says about mountain lion, a lot
Yeah.
like pork. So,
yeah.
what other you were talking about? Other varmints you've eaten? What?
Raccoon. Yeah, I've trapped a couple raccoons in like the dog
I'm
the
giving
dog
the fist
proof.
pump because I've got
Yeah.
some arm traps and I really want
Yeah,
to
do it.
give it a go.
How are you trapping them with the arm traps?
Marshmallows and peanut butter.
What do you think?
Stick them.
Yeah, but try this.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
from a fellow trapper.
November 1st is when it's
Yeah,
trapping starts.
the
So
season,
trust
yeah,
me,
Yeah.
we're going to eat some raccoons and we're going to collect some baculums.
Yeah,
Abe just learned what a baculum was.
yeah. Suck the flesh off that baculum.
Dang.
You're a different breed.
I just want a hat.
yeah.
No, you know
Yeah.
it's funny. Like when I was skinning the thing, whatever. Like trying to get the flesh off of it was actually pretty damn hard. Like
Really?
it, like the sinewy fibers or whatever stick to it so well. It was like
Huh.
it was hard. It was hard to scrape it all off.
Oh
And,
wow.
I mean, it's the first time I ever done it, but I mean, it was like
Sure.
difficult to get all that shit off there.
Couple YouTube videos on that.
No, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go
All
for
animals kind of cut
This-
up
this
the
Just
same.
gotta
bone-
treat it
Exactly.
the same.
it.
Yeah.
Like this. I don't know what this bone is, but this is probably the pecker bone. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a bone look like this.
Exactly.
It looks like a hook. It's
Yep.
strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you seen a
I
picture
got
of
you,
one?
girl. Yeah, I have.
So as you noticed, I like skulls. I like Euro mounts.
Yeah.
So I want to do a raccoon. I want to do my own bobcat. Like, a coyote, obviously, and I
Yeah.
wanted to try. Have you tanned any hides? Have you tried doing that?
I haven't tanned them, but like the coyote, I fleshed it out pretty good, and I stretched it and dried it, so it's hanging up
Do they
in my
salt it
shop.
or anything, or just dry it?
No, just dry it, just air dry. I do a lot of snake skins because on my bows, I'll glue snake skins to the back of the bows, and just from the snake skin, I mean, it's not really tanning because all you're doing is letting them air dry.
Okay.
So you tack them,
Yeah.
you stretch them and tack them to a board,
Mhm.
and as long as you scrape it, I mean, I don't typically get any fat or like sinewy stuff on the skins, like on snake skins in particular. They typically peel off really nice. So you just tack them to a board and stretch them out, and they dry real nice in the air as long as you got airflow. And then once they're dry, you just roll them up, and you don't have any issues spoiling or anything. And so I kind of like apply that to other skin stuff. It's like as long as you get most of the meat or greasy tissue off, you're not going to have an issue with that hide spoiling as long as you get proper airflow and let it dry.
Any borax or anything? Just
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I mean, like thinking about like what people did before borax.
Sure.
I mean, they didn't have borax, so
Yeah.
like,
I didn't
I've
have much
heard-
of anything.
Just like the brains, though, you can
yeah.
like.
Well, that's if you're gonna
Gonna
tan it to
tan.
make
Tan
it
it.
pliable and to
Okay.
make it like soft, right?
Yeah.
The oils in brain tanning, and I mean I don't have a whole lot of experience in this, but the oils in the
Yeah.
brain could condition the like
The leather
skin
or
or
the
the
skin,
leather,
yeah.
yeah, and then it makes it more pliable and makes it
Yeah.
a lot softer.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like when if you just dry a hide, it's going to get firmer or more
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you've ever messed with you got a dog like a rawhide bone.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
So unless you put in the effort to break it down and get it nice
Tan
and
it
soft
and-
or
Yeah.
tan it, it's gonna be pretty stiff. But if as far as a wall hanging,
That's what you
thing
kind of
goes,
want,
yeah.
though, probably.
yeah. So like on mine I skinned the entire thing out, face and everything, so it's pretty well intact. And then I got both the holes where the arrow went through, and I've got that arrow sitting
Oh, that's awesome.
in it, and then it just tacked to the wall in the shop. So I mean,
That's pretty sick.
that,
That
I
is
didn't
pretty
I didn't
sick.
put a whole lot of effort into it, but it looks
You
pretty
turned
doing
out-
a Euro mounting with the skulls? You messed
no,
with that?
so I didn't even open the body cavity up. I mean I didn't. I took the front shoulders, the hindquarters, and the back straps, and I just.
Sure.
I in hindsight, I wish I would have opened the cavity to see what like the arrow did to the organs, but I didn't.
Sure.
Sometimes you're just like, all right, let's get this over with.
99% of the time I cut
Yeah.
up pigs, I don't open body cavity either.
Yeah. But
But
I,
I was texting buddies the other night, guy at the leash shot a pig, and at the moment I was felt, I don't want this. Maybe somebody else does. And quickly I realized, like, I don't feel like cutting this up.
yeah.
But somebody was like, oh yeah, I'll take some back straps, hindquarters, tenderloins. I said, you don't get tenderloins. It's
Yeah,
pig.
yeah.
I'm not opening the body cavity
And-
for you. No offense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
Nothing.
don't know the difference between tenderloins and like the back loins.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, tenderloin is like the back straps. And I'm like, no,
No.
tenderloins are
The opposite of
a
it.
little
On
little
the
bit of
inside.
effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, but the whole pig thing, like in Texas, is like interesting to get used to too, because
Just
like
going murdering.
yeah, and I've had to wrap my head around and like be okay with like when it comes to pigs, people being like wasteful
It's
or
garbage.
Like, yeah,
I
right,
mean,
right.
I mean, a lot of
pest.
And
I mean,
like
yeah.
far and
It-
beyond.
and I used to consider it like almost wasteful, but like my mentality now is like nothing is wasted because what happens, it breaks down and it just
Yeah.
I mean,
it,
yeah,
it
that
feeds
first
something.
pig was gone.
Yeah.
That at the farm,
we were back like less than a week later or something.
it was gone.
Yeah, and I mean something's eaten on it, so it's not wasted, but at the same time with like pigs in Texas, like I understand that they are a huge issue
Yeah.
and that you can't like get wrapped up in
In-
like in the
yeah.
individuals
Yeah.
or even if you show up and you like slaughter a pin or a trap full of hogs,
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter because it's not
No.
helping.
Mm-mm.
Like you hope it's helping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
used
But
to.
it-
A drop into the
First-
ocean.
when-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You first start hunting, then first you start regularly killing large game. Clearly deers are very valued.
Yeah.
And if all the first handful of pigs I shot, I was like, I'm cutting this up. I'm eating them.
Yeah.
Putting it in the freezer. Gonna eat on it. And I did. And it was great. And now the more pigs I've shot, I'll take the back straps out.
Yeah. But like
the last half dozen pigs I shot, like, would somebody help me throw this in here so we can get rid of it? like,
But like
but I felt the same
starving
way.
hunters like me from California who would like give anything to like process and butcher my own hog that I killed,
Yeah.
right? Like to at first to like see all these folks like going out with their ARs and just like
Laying
slaughter-
waste.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was like a hard pill for me to swallow, but it's like no, at this point I get it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
I agree.
I'll take a hog where I can get it if I have a buddy who's willing to like set one aside as long as it's
Man.
like hasn't been dead for 24, 48
Yeah.
hours,
It's been sitting in the bed of my truck, man. It'll be all right.
Should have left out.
It's a little hot. It's all right.
So like
Yeah.
I'll put like the message out there. I'll tell all my friends, hey, if you're going out to the like ranch this weekend, if you kill a hog and you don't want to
Dude.
fuck with it, let me know and I'll meet you and I'll pick it up.
We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
No, I feel
In
like
about-
I'm
Yeah.
asking.
48
about-
hours.
In about 20 minutes, we can watch a cell camera and I can show you 30 pigs
Yeah.
at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and what kind of changed my mind about that whole thing too is I had a buddy who's got a farm down in Athens, and his neighbor trapped a bunch of hogs just on a whim. He was like, I haven't set my trap in a while. I'm gonna set it and see what comes in. Like 25 hogs came in, dropped the trap, and he was surprised to see that many hogs in. So he put out like a message on the Facebook community app
Yeah.
out in the little rural area, and he's like, hey, I got hogs. If y'all want them, come get them. So my buddy texted me and was like, hey, if you want some hogs, come down here. I drove to Athens that night, and the next morning I went to the dude's trap, and he was like, how many you want? And I was like, I don't know. Let me take a look. And he had like 18 to 20 that were like in the 40 pound range. And I was like, I'll take 3. And he was like, just 3? And I was like,
I
I
mean,
only got
Yeah.
so much time.
Yeah.
I got like a 55 like quart cooler.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many more are gonna fit. And like I kind of like changed my mentality like then and there. It's like, you know what, like
Clearly.
he can't find enough people to come and take these off
Yeah.
his hands.
My brother sent me that. It was like a screenshot from Facebook. Some guy was like putting a message out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I've got hogs.
Come get 'em.
Serious inquiries. Like, I need this problem. Like, I need someone to help me with this problem. And he's like, here, dude. And I was like, nah. It's like, I've got my hands full.
Yeah,
right
we've
now.
got
we
it-
just have
yeah.
We got
one.
our own
I
problem.
was like, we got one property
We
that
have a
we're really
yeah.
trying to manage right now.
Our
you know?
lease out in East Texas, I mean, man, just deer season last year, they shot 100 and something.
Yeah.
And then this year, I can't remember the last weekend they haven't texted like, yeah, we shot a half dozen this weekend.
What happened? You told a story about your you tried to put a couple out with your 9mm and shit got
Oh.
busted.
Abe and I went up to Lauren's uncle has a place up in Oklahoma, and I was gonna run up there and do a little chainsawing because we were dropping some timber. I think we talked about seeing all that Osage.
Yeah, that's the
and-
guy that's got the Osage.
Yeah, so if we drop any more, I'll bring you some. That's like like a quick side trail. These Osage has this orange wood, and Ryan and I cutting it it's like cutting through aluminum. Just oh my gosh, and it's cool wood. It's bright orange.
Yeah.
Him and I were talking while we were dove hunting that day. He goes, "You can sell that."
Oh, wow.
Like
Yeah.
people, that's only in the U.S. If I didn't
No,
interrupt
you could
me.
sell. You could sell it internationally.
No, I meant like, but the wood's only
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Yeah.
and people internationally who build bows want that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so
Let's
I'm
go
like,
do
all
it.
right, well,
I got a
if-
chainsaw.
If Ryan and I have to drop any more
Stormwater
trees,
Creek Osage Harvesters.
and I also had another idea, another side trail. Then we'll get back. But so now that my saddle's in, we don't have any trees in our backyard. I want to get a small tree. I think
And
like a
stick it in the
10-foot
ground?
section, or I think. Up at the shop, have the welder metal fab guy build me a big steel plate and
A
lag it
base.
to the plate and put some like wheels on it so I can move it around the yard and not kill the grass, but have this 10-foot mobile tree.
Not a bad
Redneck
idea. Yeah.
trophy
Not a
club.
bad idea.
But
We're
it'd
going to
be-
get a phone call.
No,
He's not HOA, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're
No,
not
we're going to get a
you're
phone
not
call that
HOA.
fucker's going to
No,
tell.
I'm gonna put like a 4-foot base on it, so it, like the same way the tethered booths are. You've
Yeah.
seen the trees that
Yeah.
have big, but I'm gonna put it up on like inflatable, like like the tires.
Like, yeah, I got you.
nice, like
Pneumatic tires.
Yeah. Then I could move that thing around.
And keep it on the pad over there. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
You can
Yeah.
drive
he
it where,
gets it
yeah.
Hey, man.
and roll it out and
Yeah.
shoot some arrows.
Yeah. That's why my wife wants to take those trees down, and I'm trying to convince her not to take all of
keep
them
'em,
down.
yeah.
I'm just like, we can get rid of all of them except for this
Why
real
would
tall,
you take
skinny
all
one.
those trees down?
Because it is a nightmare.
In the pool.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's a
God.
nightmare.
Take my eyes, but not the pool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not
Can you-
taking every single one of the trees, but but
Thin-
there in
thin
that
the
back
herd.
corner, those are going to go.
Okay, so then let's go back. We were
Yeah.
talking about pigs. So Lauren's uncle Ryan texted me. I was going to go up there. We were going up Sunday, and Friday night we're texting, and he's sending me pictures. He has a cell camera on a cell actuated gate, and he's like, "Man, look at all these pigs in here." I was like, "Drop that thing! Like, shut it!" I don't want to drive up this and that.
And then what? Yeah.
Then he shuts it, and we're texting. He's like, "Yeah, I'm heading up there now." I was like, "We're gonna be up there in like 36 hours. Do you care? Cause I don't care." And he was, "About what?" I was like, "The pig." He goes, "No." I was like, "Then go home to your family. Like, go hang out." I was like, "Abe will go with me, and we'll go shoot them all, and then do some chainsaw." And we did.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh, this trap. I mean, it's 10 yards across, maybe."
Maybe.
So I was like, 9mm. I got a pretty nice 9mm. It's got an RMR on it, and I can shoot that thing 50 yards and hit steel. So I was like, no problem. So we back side by side up and stay in the back, and we start taking pot shots at these pigs. We don't miss the pigs. So you've got pigs running around with
Bullet
multiple 9mm shells in
In
their
the head.
I don't understand.
head bleeding.
I mean, like,
blood,
not
bath.
like in the mouth. I'm
Like
talking about
temple.
in the dome. In the dome.
And running around,
Just
like not dying, running around.
Yeah.
running around. So the trap slowly being painted with red
Ugh.
paint, and we run through all the 9mm I brought because there was like 10 or 12 pigs. I brought one box thinking this isn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
It turned into a big deal. We're looking at each other like, I'm uncomfortable
Yeah.
with
Trying
this
to load
situation.
your mags and
It was just like, all right, well, you take a turn. Like, it was just like, okay, I shot, 10 times and hit 9 of them in the head or like in the in the Boilermaker,
and didn't drop a single one.
and it
What
didn't.
couple?
Yes.
It was not pretty.
No. Most of them took at least 2 to or 3
How big were
to
these
the head.
pigs?
These were piglets.
Piglets.
And there was
Like-
one mom, but we were like, ugh.
It was
uncomfortable. I mean, my ethics
There's
lesson.
got to be a sweet spot. Maybe there's got to be a sweet spot somewhere on the head. 'Cause
yeah, it's called
I-
get a 300
Yeah.
blackout.
No,
on my
'cause
drop.
the-
223 will be fine.
So with
22 will
20,
do it.
20
Yeah.
22 LR, like the
Yeah.
3 that
Yeah.
So
I
much
killed
faster.
just right here.
Yeah,
And
9mm
lights
is
out.
bigger and slower, I think.
Yeah.
You think? Interesting.
Because
I don't
that's
know.
what texting with Ryan after this. I was like, well, this turned into a bloodbath. And telling me, he goes, man, that's weird because we always just sit on the side by side and wait till they're looking at you with a 22 and just, like you said, right between the eyes and just dead. But that's a little round just punching through.
Yeah, real quick.
So we finished them off with 223. Worked like a dream as we figured. But yeah, it was messy. And we cut up a couple of them, and it was. My ethics get pretty low at pigs
Yeah.
for what it's worth. I mean,
Yeah.
right or wrong, it is what it is.
No, 'cause they're like the lab rat, the test dummy. You
Yeah.
could see, if your goal is ethics, try what you want to do. Try
On
it
a
on
pig,
hogs
yeah.
first.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, I'm even just in dispatch. Like, I don't want them to. I don't want anything
Yeah.
to suffer. But I got like. Oh,
I
I
was
feel
like-
almost. It takes a lot. I've ran over pigs with side by sides and trucks and on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad about that. I started feeling bad about the 9mm situation. Like, this is bad.
Oh,
This is
when they start
greasy.
screaming.
And they're
Oh,
running
they're-
around with blood running out of their
Just
head.
flopping around like fish.
Yeah. It's like you wouldn't want kids to see that. They'd freak
No.
the hell out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was
Kinda like-
ugly.
There's a video that shall not be released.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no. So yeah, no
Yeah.
9mm with pigs.
No. No. We upped it to the 300. We finally got one in the trap.
Yeah, our trap out in
And-
farm.
That was awesome. It is
Yeah.
a mess in there, though, it looks like on the video.
It's fine. The feeder was brought home to be rehabbed.
So did they rip the motor off?
It was just the one.
Yeah, one. I guarantee you, the way she looked, she had piglets with her.
And they
And they were
Squeeze-
able to
got
squeeze
through.
out.
Yeah, because it's hog panel, so you know
Yeah.
you got 6x6, whatever those holes
I think
are.
we
Yeah, we're gonna do that Sunday. We're gonna throw some. We got some hog panel scraps from trimming up a stand and fill. We're gonna wire them in to lessen, cut those holes in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I roll out there just to do a quick fill, swap camera cards, and even thought about it. I was like, I wonder if there's any pigs in that trap because we have a cell camera on it, but it's been on the fritz. Driving side by side and scoot around the corner that pig trap's at, and they're like, let's take a look, and veer to the left, like, that is a really angry pig in there. So I turned around and go get a gun and dispatched her. Look at the camera this evening, actually, because the cell cameras will still take pictures. They just won't transmit if they're having issues. She was in there 7 days. I feel kind of bad about that one, too. She was thin and beat up.
But that was probably the way she was from
Yeah.
the beginning.
So, the trap is tied open, and there's no feeder in it. They were back that night looking at this camera, so I don't know.
Texas hog bait, man.
So we're gonna I've got an idea to put the feeder up better. We've got new cell cameras that have much better reception. We've been toying with. So
Yes.
Are these the feeders that y'all like the 50-gallon?
this
No.
one's a little cheap 5-gallon $30 rig.
Yeah.
Because we kind of want it in there. Because we had it and it mounts so easily. So there's a little tree in that feeder. We screwed a 2x4 in, set the lip on, and ratchet strapped it to the tree. Well, I guess she climbed the tree some and turned it sideways, broke the battery box open. When I walked up, the battery was in the middle of the pin with her. I plugged it back up and it runs. It just broke a latch off, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why we use the 5-gallon one.
Yeah,
But these 50-gallon rigs that Jason's boy from Kawakaro make, his boys, man, those are setups.
Dude, we put
350 pounds of corn. The angles they put those legs and stuff.
It's
People are like,
solid.
you need to put
Who builds these feeders?
So Jason, we
it's a
haven't released
joint
a
effort.
podcast yet. Jason, the owner of Tawakaro Distilling, or one of the owners, whatever it is.
Well, by the time
It'll-
they're
it'll be
listening to
out.
this, it'll be out.
Yeah, his son's weld, and just make some side
Okay.
money. They build these platforms that have two, not flanges, but tabs.
Yeah.
So it's just a square base and legs that slip on and off, and they're boiler pipe legs. So you aren't not breaking these.
You're
And
about-
it's like angle iron.
You're about
Yeah.
18,000 pounds away from the breaking limit of those legs.
So then you find your own barrel and set it on top. But Jordan's job, they run through a lot of oil and barrels and stuff, working on large diesel engines. So he gets his barrels. You set the barrel on there, you drill through it, and screw and bolt it on.
Anchor it.
Yeah, and then you drill a hole through your feed funnel and mount your controller.
We put one up down at the ranch, and it was
Yeah,
It's awesome.
He's
So
done
this
one.
dude's son.
Yeah.
He has two
Nice.
sons. Yeah,
So
they
are
weld.
they hunters?
Yeah, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
big
nice.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the part of our agreement with him helping us out with these stands or not stands, feeder stands, I guess, it was come out and kill some pigs. 'Cause,
Nice.
man, they love just kind of eating wild game. So,
Yeah.
so as soon as we get a couple deer down, him, everybody who needs some pig meat, we've got
Saturday.
the grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean, two
We
of
punch
our,
our ticket on Saturday.
two of our stands now
You hear me?
have feeder lights to shoot at night, and then we've got a couple sets of night vision
My
also.
anxiety
so-
just went up thinking about it.
So have y'all
I'm
been out?
anxious.
Have y'all been out for whitetail?
Yeah,
Cool.
I have.
I've set 9 times already between Oklahoma and Texas.
Nice.
And you're counting a morning. You're counting a day as 2 sits, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I'm taking a break in between, it's separate sits.
Yeah. I've had 5. And I will sit.
I'm not this is my first deer season, and I'm not a bow hunter yet.
Yeah.
I plan to practice and get into it or whatever. But Abe found me a crossbow to use this season, and so I picked it up from him last week and just haven't had anywhere to go to sight it in, except for we have the farm, but not trying to like hang out there right now.
Well, what about
So-
here? I mean, 20. What
My
was this? 25.
my
yards?
concern is we don't know how dialed in it is. Correct? Is that
It's dialed in enough that I would be okay with shooting it here, as long because you've got your backdrop.
my concern is punching through a fence since we're in a
Your neighbors.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there's kids all around us too.
Yeah.
My bow's dialed in. I don't. You see some guys pull their bow back and point it upwards and rip on it. I hate that so
yeah,
much.
it's
like
Point it down.
No, just point it like if you can't
Towards-
pull it straight back, you turn your draw weight down.
I don't understand. Like, I'm a weak piece of shit, and I shoot a 70-pound.
Exactly.
And I don't have to be like,
Yeah, you see those guys start holding it in their face and then make this like arching motion, like you turn your bow down.
what
bro.
are you shooting? Like, I've never understood that.
You
They're
guys
not-
never seen Robin Hood before? You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
like
They
I
don't
think the
shoot their bows
reality
enough.
is they're trying to get the bow back. But I mean, one of my favorite things about like shooting traditional style is like it kind of keys you into proper technique.
Smooth.
So
and
yeah, and so if you can shoot a trad bow, you can shoot a compound bow, and the draw is the same. Like you don't see, like I don't ever
And
see
you have
anyone.
no let off, so
Yeah, and I don't ever see anyone shooting a trad bow like this.
yeah, it's not a struggle at
You know,
all.
it's like you got your elbow up,
That
you
Daniel
pull it
Day-Lewis
straight
is
back
full of
and you
shit.
let it
Yeah, kind of.
settle like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's the you don't point up.
Yeah.
Point towards your target or at least parallel with your target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elbow in this general position. Draw it straight back. Boom.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just it's interesting to watch a lot of, especially like a lot of like I'd say like archery celebrities and watch them draw.
yeah.
And it's like just tone the bow down a little bit and focus on
Exactly.
technique.
30 or 40 pounds will kill a deer,
Yeah.
a whitetail,
Yeah,
especially
and
in Texas.
in a lot of
whitetail.
states that's legal,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
30 plus pounds.
Like I didn't shoot my bow for about a year because I tore my shoulder up, and
Robot arm.
I got really,
No, he's got a robot arm. We
I
don't
wish
talk
I
about
did.
wish he
I
did.
We don't talk about it a lot.
totally
but
with some just chainsaw attachment, gun attachment,
Like fucking
totally
Luke
worth it.
Skywalker?
Hack this thing off. Yeah,
He didn't have attachments though. He just had the hand.
but I
I
want
mean,
to.
wasn't the hand an attachment though?
Yeah.
No,
I
we're
want-
talking about like who had the gun arm? Was it RoboCop? RoboCop had the gun. He like clicked it on. He had the gun on his arm.
No,
I think you're thinking of Captain Hook.
he had the gun that came out of his leg,
Yes.
if I recall. But anywho,
Filmed in Dallas.
so I started pulling my bow some more, and it was really tough
Police
to pull. I
station's the
think
Sons of Herman Hall.
when we messed with it at
Do
the
you?
shop last, it was 73 pounds, so it's stoutish, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But and it took me a few times.
73 pounds is stout.
So
I mean, Cameron Haynes shoots 80 pounds. Which
You guys can all suck it. That's RoboCop with a gun on his arm.
okay, that's fine.
but that's
and
fake.
a couple of
That's based off the movie, you dumbass.
The movie's real.
No,
so
I
a
get
couple-
RoboCop as a true
the first
story,
few
but
times, it was hard. But as I started trying to get my strength back, they were all like, "Turn your bow down." I was like, "I really just don't want to recite it."
Yeah.
That was the
yeah, because then you got to recite.
Exactly. And I just didn't want to, being stubborn and OCD. I know it's dialed. So I wouldn't shoot much. I would shoot a few shots, but I'd do and just pull straight back. And there were some struggles involved. And I've been shooting every morning and every night for a minute now. No problem. So these guys who making this big arch,
muscle
like,
memory.
yeah.
You know?
And you squeezing your shoulder blades, not using your shoulders and all, like people try to muscle it. It's not like squeeze your shoulder blades
back-
together.
back tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, shoot your bows more.
Yeah. For a
go
year,
shoot
businessman.
a couple years
Doing
up
business,
at
man.
up at the city of Grapevine, I was one of the archery instructors,
Oh.
and I mean it was a fun little side gig that we followed the National Archery in the School program curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
and people could sign up for the class, and then I would instruct the class, and
You could probably help me then.
yeah, I mean the same technique for traditional carries over into compound archery, and compound archery is so much easier because of the let-off factor.
Exactly.
Yeah, the bows. Say the bows are going to be a little bit heavier, but besides that, I mean, not having to hold the let off or not having to hold the entire weight is like game changer.
Oh, for sure. Especially for an extended hold.
Yeah,
What do you think the number one thing is that people do wrong that they can
In-
correct?
for
Shooting their bow.
compound
You say
or
compound.
just
more-
compound
way
bow.
more people shoot.
I would probably say distance. The distance that they feel comfortable shooting.
Yeah.
I'd say bring it in. Bring it
Yeah.
in, especially in Texas where a lot of folks are shooting over
Yeah.
feeders. I know, like, we threw Cameron Haynes out there a minute
Yeah.
ago, and he's shooting at, like, what? Well, I know he practices at real long distances, right? And,
Yeah.
Shoots at like 30 or 40.
And he shoots, and he shot animals at a lot of, like,
80 yards and
yeah,
stuff.
a lot of good archer shooters will shoot at animals at further distances, but especially in Texas, I mean, rein it in, like get like 20 30 yards max, and
Yeah.
Absolutely.
put the animal where you want, because we have that luxury in Texas, being able to hunt over bait or hunt over feeders.
Yeah.
Get that animal closer and focus on taking closer shots. I think that's
Yeah.
what people fuck up.
Opening
is-
night in Oklahoma, I was sitting in a tree stand. I saw 40 deer and had 3 I should have shot at 20 yards or less. But to the same vein as what you're saying, I just didn't feel it. There was branches and the angles were weird. And I was sitting in a stand that was kind of set for right-handed. I shoot left-handed, and I just didn't feel it.
Yeah. So I mean, the angles is another factor in itself, right? Because when you're up at an angle, when you're elevated, you need to shoot closer than the distance the distance the target is from, like, say the base of your stand. Say the
Yeah.
target from the base of your stand, the target is 30 yards away. From the stand, from your elevated position, you want to shoot closer than 30 yards. You want to shoot 25.
Yeah, and all these
Yeah.
rangefinders kind of
Yeah,
take that into account now.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
cool thing about modern rangefinders is they'll kind of calculate
Angle
the
correction,
arc.
yeah.
Because your arrow wants to. Your
Already
arrow
fall.
wants to no, it wants to rise. So you think you when you're if your target is 30 yards away and you're in a stand and you got your 30-yard pin on it, you're going to shoot way over its back because that arrow really wants to rise. So you aim a lot lower than you typically would if you were shooting parallel to your target or
All right, yeah. That makes sense.
And-
Because when they're like right below you, you're supposed to put your 30-yard pin on them. Is that usually
when you,
kind
I
of the
mean when
rule?
it's right below you, it's strange because there's no there's no arc at all, right? It's
Yeah.
it's point A to point B,
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
straight line. I can't speak to shooting pins straight like a compound bow with pins
Yeah.
or straight up and straight down because I practice that shot with no pins, no sights with my trad bows. So it's just point and shoot if the target's directly beneath you.
So
There's
you
not
just,
a whole
you
lot
just
of-
aim out of instinct and off the tip of your arrow like most people do?
Yeah, I'm mainly instinct because
Yeah.
with my laminate recurve or longbows, I'll do some what they call gap shooting is where you're using the point of your arrow as your only pin and you're moving that up or down in relation to the distance of your target, and that's kind of how you figure the distance and where you're going to hold your point of aim. But for the most part, I prefer to shoot a lot closer shots.
Sure.
Like I think a 5-yard shot is more impressive than a 40-yard shot just because all the factors that need to line up to get you that close encounter,
yeah.
right? So at those closer distances, I would way rather have that super close encounter than have to shoot a lot further. But the reality of those the amount of close encounters you're going to have is not anywhere near
Sure.
a deer walking past your stand at 20, 30 yards.
And so much, bows being let's say 300 feet per second on the outside with that arrow. A lot can happen.
Yeah.
Between when you're getting out there, and, I shot this elk at 60 yards. To a solid step, which can easily happen in that second.
Yeah. Or if it hears your bow, right? Like I think a lot of people think their bows are quieter than they are.
Yeah.
So any kind of string jump at all at 40, 60 yards is going to be massive.
Massive.
I aim always lower, like
the load.
Yeah.
just like I'll aim like right at the bottom of their chest.
Yeah. Is that going to be the same on an elk? Like do they load and drop as much?
Not
I don't think they do.
But
'cause they're so
on
much less
spry,
concerned with-
whitetail.
because whitetail are so squirrely, and
Jumpy.
cagey, and jumpy, and they hear that string hit your string stop, and they're loading, so they're
Yeah.
ducking to load
Yeah.
up to spring.
But larger animals can't load as quick. Right?
And that and elk.
I just don't
elk
think
aren't
there's-
really worried about noise as much
Yeah.
because they're usually when you're hunting they're rutting, so there's elk and stuff. Wind is the biggest issue, and
Yeah.
I mean I've elk hunted twice with unsuccessfully, so this is all just what I've
Conjecture.
so far, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what you've
Yeah.
learned so far.
what I've learned and listened and heard. Because you hear these guys out there thrashing with a branch, and
Yeah.
you're calling and cow calls, and noise isn't as near as big a factor as it is with whitetail. Clearly wind is a factor for everything.
for elk,
Yeah.
yeah, or for more so for elk.
So you hear these stories. I mean, our buddy Joel Smith. I don't think we released a podcast. We
No.
haven't. His elk he shot this year, full pass through, and it just kind of it looked around and then walked off and died.
Yeah.
Like didn't move.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like it's not a noise issue.
Yeah.
It's a
No.
what did you do wrong issue. So
yeah. I mean, like even mule deer are not as squirrely.
Mm-mm.
They're like, what? Oh God, I got shot. Like
you hear about guys elk hunting who have a caller with them. Like as soon as they shoot, somebody will rip a bugle or a cow call. So then they're usually like
To
what,
distract,
Or,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then a lot of times just zip through them, and they're just kind of like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
I feel dizzy.
Yeah,
I
like,
feel really
my blood
lightheaded.
pressure's dropping.
I feel like Jared.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's why I kind of think like
What?
archery,
Exactly.
archery or like broadheads are like probably the most ethical
Yeah.
Like even if a deer is shot with like a high powered rifle, like they don't always die immediately, right? Not all the time.
No.
So like even the most ethical a gun, right, may
Yep.
not be as ethical as something getting shot, not knowing it got hit, and then walking away and falling asleep.
I mean, I was in
Eh.
Florida and I had this conversation with non-hunters again, and they're just like, "Man, I couldn't kill something."
How could you kill that poor
and I
animal?
just am like, "Well, here, let's talk this through, right? You've seen a deer get hit by a car, or you've heard about it. Do you think that was a pleasant experience for that deer? Probably not. Okay, how do you think most animals die in the
Or
wild?
naturally, yeah.
Yeah, so
What was their answer?
they were like, "Well, I
Never thought about it.
Never really thought about it. Like their only thought is, I wouldn't do that to the animal instead of
you killed the
Not
Yeah.
that they're gonna get
Exactly.
taken down and eaten ass first while
Alive.
they're still alive.
Yeah.
They're gonna fall asleep
I always
peacefully.
yeah.
and just,
No animal ever dies surrounded by its family in a nursing home or at like peacefully in its
morphine
sleep.
drip.
Yeah, nothing just goes to sleep and is like, I've had a long
Anytime
life.
I've thought about this recently, I haven't had like debates
Mother
with
Nature's a
anyone,
hard bitch.
but
Yeah.
it's like anybody who like has like kind of like an irky feeling about, oh, you're hunting animals, or you're a hunter. Go to Nature is Metal. Go to that Instagram
yeah,
page
absolutely.
and,
That's
and
great.
just scroll
See
through
what
as
it
much
does.
as you
real
can.
life.
Yeah.
Like that's
Not
I'm
air
not,
conditioning.
I'm not touching that. you know?
Eagles pick up like sheep and drop them off the mountain.
I mean, not
Yeah.
to mention like vegetarian creatures.
Yeah.
That will occasionally
Creatures.
Yeah.
eat
I watched
other animals.
I watched the deer,
Deer
on the
eat
camera
birds and all kinds
going
of stuff.
across the bird's nest and just, oh, there's a baby bird. I'm gonna
Yeah,
eat that.
exactly.
Like,
Absolutely.
what?
Calories, man.
I
Yeah.
watched.
It's a game of calories
Have you
in the real
seen
world.
Stars in the Sky?
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
pretty
yet.
good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
Is it?
really good. Yeah, highly recommend it. I think it's on Netflix, right? Right now.
No, I think you have
And
to,
no,
I
it just
still
got
think you
put.
have to
It just
buy
got put on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix
Is it?
now.
What's
It's
that
on
one?
Netflix.
It's Stephen Noah's.
His original documentary.
Well,
right?
I mean,
No,
it's
this one's pretty
this
recent.
one came out.
Is it the one where he talks? He has the guy on Meat Eater all the time, older dude who deer hunts with him.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you're talking about. You're talking
forget his
about
name.
from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Doug Dern?
yeah.
Well,
There's a documentary I just watched recently, and he's like at his cabin in Alaska. They're doing hunting. He talks to a bunch of different people, and then he's at like the book thing where the vegan or
oh,
vegetarian.
that's
guy-
Stars in the Sky.
Okay, he like tries to talk to him
Don't
about.
ruin it for me.
You've seen that clip though, haven't you? That's
Everyone's
old.
seen that clip. It's on YouTube.
It's
yeah.
really an old. He gets confronted by, but he has a vegan on that, and it's really good.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm at it.
Really, really good.
But I mean, I had the conversation somewhat recently. I was just talking to people about hunting and whatnot, and it's got such a for a lot of non-hunters and people who don't understand, it's just got this like weird, barbaric, negative connotation that we're just out like murdering all these animals.
How do you think we got to the point of building two-story houses with air conditioning and carpet?
Well, I think
We killed a lot of stuff
Yeah.
so we could eat it and stay alive.
I think that's one of
We
the
didn't
points
do it
they
on
make
lettuce.
is just like for people not to hunt is the weird thing.
exactly.
It's not. It's the other way around.
Well, yeah, we
you
talked
know?
about this in previous. About like I had meat eaters
Yeah.
kind of get on to me about hunting, and it's like, what do you like? Your cheeseburger. What do you think happens to
Yeah.
the cow that you're eating?
Exactly.
And, we talk about like you don't eat chicken from the store. I still will.
It's
but-
not that I don't. I just don't care about it. I'm not like anti-chicken. I think chicken mass production is gross. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in
It's
very
100% gross.
I've been very close to cattle, to feedlots and stuff. My dad did a lot of work in them, automation of cattle raising and stuff. So I've been on really my grandpa ranched. I've hauled hay. I've castrated cattle. I've ear tagged. I've been around all of this. Doesn't really bother me. I've seen how stupid cattle are. Not really justification. It is what it is. I think modernized chicken meat is just bland. It's a flavor sponge. It doesn't have anything to it. So I just don't. I mean, I can't think of like, man,
not
you know,
something
I
you
could
desire.
Yeah, I can't really think of like a chicken dish. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I can really
Nashville
go for?
hot chicken, the fried chicken, whatever. That's
Totally-
I get
totally
that.
into that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally-
Totally.
I'm into wings.
But like, I mean, my lunches this week have just been like literally, I
chicken
grilled some
breast,
chicken
yeah.
with broccoli and like some rice.
And see, I would take a chunk of dead animal out of my freezer and sear it and slice it and make like a steak salad or something like that. But it's red meat, and I just feel, I've probably killed it, and I just feel like it has more flavor. For no other factor,
I understand.
remove
No,
the factory
100%.
farming aspect, but just the flavor. To me, chicken's like meat tofu. It has no flavor. It just absorbs the flavor. If
Yeah.
that flavor's good, cool. But I can't tell you
And there goes our Tyson sponsorship.
ever. I can't tell you the last
Pilgrim's
time
Pride called.
there's been a chicken dish I've just craved.
Oh,
Yeah.
like chicken wings though.
Oh, no,
that's the one thing.
Chicken wings are great.
That's
we,
the
we
one
love
thing.
chicken wings. Remember when you made them on the
chicken
smoker
wing, hot
at the
dog,
house?
bologna.
Man meat weekend?
Was that another man meat weekend? I think.
No, that was the one
That
because
was
Will
the-
came over that night.
What's a
Man.
man meat weekend?
Who wants the man meat? I want the man meat, Michael.
Yeah.
Man meat weekend is when
Lauren went out of town.
his wife's out of town and
Hey,
my now fiance, when my
The
girlfriend was out
stars
of town.
just align.
And we're like, hey, let's go kayak fish. And then it's like, it's too windy. Let's just eat a bunch of meat and get drunk this weekend.
So we went to
Via Brazil.
Via Brazil, which is like a local version of Texas Day Brazil, way cheaper.
Awesome.
And we just crushed
We had
plates of meat.
Just
Nice.
ate meat.
Then went back to the house and drank beer till we got hungry again.
And just made-
then made more meat.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man meat, Michael.
I want man meat, Michael. It's so good. I cannot stop watching The Office.
I mean,
I've
no
seen
one,
so
it
good.
No one does.
dozens of times, and it's still.
Right now, House is my unholy addiction.
Yeah,
I love that show.
I get it. I can get into that real easy, and I just am trying to. I have been in the DOS boat.
It's good.
It's
This season's not
we have
bad.
Jesse.
I,
we
I
have
kind
speaking
of
of Das Boat. We have Jesse Griffiths on next week.
Oh no!
oh my
shit.
god,
about
I
that.
forgot about that.
We were texting last night, and he's
Awesome.
100% on board. He's like, my daughter may be in the background. I was like, dude, we
Oh,
ain't
cool.
sweating.
Nobody
Like a
cares.
satellite thing.
Yeah, we'll
Zoom.
Zoom. So we put up on the TV here and so we can see each other.
That's really cool.
You wanna
Das
come
Boat
over
this
and sit
season's been
in?
good.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to.
Dude, door's open if you want to come.
Yeah.
We like to party.
Well, you have to show us where to shoot teal on Grapevine.
Dude,
You
man,
already
opening-
dropped me a pin. I was
Yeah.
like, it ain't, I'm
no,
not
that
taking
morning,
the spot.
was it Sunday? I think maybe. And were you hunting Sunday,
I had-
opening weekend?
Yeah, I hunted Sunday too.
And I think we were all talking. I was like, "Where's Austin?"
Yeah, Sunday was slow for us.
I killed 2 birds on Sunday.
I think I shot
man,
at one, and it probably wasn't a teal.
Yeah, the Saturday though. I mean, that was the best. That was the best waterfowl hunt I've ever had.
Saturday
Oh no,
was.
you killed it. Yeah,
I mean,
you got it done.
if there is not a reason we didn't shoot at least a 2-man limit
Yeah.
on
'Cause we
Saturday,
can't
because we shot like shit. You know, I mean, there were birds Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first. I mean, I feel like no matter how much you shoot trap or skeet, like you can't be ready for like real birds.
No.
Mm-mm.
Because
I
they
don't know.
they
Big
come.
ducks getting decoyed, man.
Yeah, man, I am so ready for
The
ducks.
teal
Did y'all
just
have any
screamers.
big ducks decoy during teal season?
No, not this
Dude, I
time.
had
We had wood
I
duck.
had a bunch of mallards.
Really?
Oh yeah.
on that Sunday.
I'm
Yeah.
ready, dude. I won't.
Yeah.
That big
So
mallard on my wall downstairs, that should have been Jared's mallard.
Yeah.
They flew
I
by.
fell.
He took a shot and got stuck in the mud and fell.
Yeah.
I went bang,
That's
bang.
awesome.
Birds down.
I like
He's
desperation shot. I was so pissed.
But like so the opening morning, it was the craziest shit I've ever experienced because I shot a bird at first light, came in like I had a few birds decoy, touchdown, and take off. Shot one that came in, and then I had one group come in that I limited out on. So I shot 5 birds out of one group.
Oh wow.
They, man, you know,
Jesus
some
Christ.
people say teal are like stupid, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't understand what they mean by that until this morning. I shot 2 or 3 out of the group. They circled back around, came back to land in.
Oh, wow.
Shot another 2. They came back around, and
You were just on the X, man.
It was one group. One
Yeah.
group came in and a single, and that's how I limited out.
Wow.
We had the one.
We hadn't. Well, we had no. We had
Well, I mean that.
Three.
that
We had
decoyed
multiple
for us.
groups.
we had
We had-
3 groups.
We are the biggest group that decoyed. Only group that decoyed hard. Decoyed on our geese spread.
Yeah, I saw that or heard that somewhere.
Thank God for
That's-
number 2s.
Yeah, Jared
Oh
was
my
shooting number
God.
2, so he just swatted him.
Dude, you know what I shoot for the teal?
What?
Low brass number 6.
Oh.
We shoot. What do we shoot? 7?
Yeah, I was
6?
shooting 6.
6
So
or
what,
7?
I know, like you were saying, especially for big ducks, like 3.5 all the way. Dude, teal, like
Teal, but,
even
but they're this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And-
chicken.
so I mean, for big ducks, I mean, I tend to shoot number 3s. I'll buy whatever shells are least expensive.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I just try to take
I'm gonna
closer shots.
Be real honest. Abe and I'm going to speak for Abe, and I think he
Yeah.
agrees with me. we're the exact same way until last year.
Yeah.
We bought the cheapest. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. And then I thought, you know
Halfway
what?
through season, we talked. I had the same thing.
And we were just like, yeah, and we'd shoot birds, and we'd always get them. But we seem to have a lot of cripples who are still alive, and we
That's half the fun. You get to chase them down.
Oh man, I
don't
hate
like
it.
that.
The dog loves it now, so whatever. But
cat and mouse.
we thought, you know, let's move up one size, and if we're gonna do
And
that,
that's when all the
let's
ducks come
buy-
in.
Let's buy 3.5s, just because. Let's buy one box of these nice shells, and if nothing else, because we're cheap, it'll make us a little more patient.
Yeah.
Let's do some make
Yeah.
some more effort
couple
to
bucks
decoy
a
them.
shell.
It's not that bad.
But
it's
it's-
not. But we made more effort to decoy them better. We had more patience. But man, you swat a bird at 10 yards, 15 yards, a 3.5-inch two.
Night, night.
It's like chucking a cinder block in the water. Just splash.
Boom.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I
The
mean,
dog
what,
goes and gets it. Done.
So I mean, I think it's all about what you're confident with, right?
Yeah.
What built my confidence was water swatting a mallard at 40, 45 yards with
Yeah.
my cylinder choke or my improved cylinder with a 3.5-inch number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, okay,
Well, there you
Like-
go.
That's some distance,
Yeah.
man.
I'll take a water swat limit.
For sure.
my
Oh
God.
yeah, no doubt. No
I-
doubt.
If I could water
That's why I
swat
got
every
my
single
Tio,
bird I
don't
shot,
care, yeah.
that would be.
I mean, I'm 100% for water spots. I've never missed.
Well, I mean, it's just people talk about that.
Abe's
it's
got a
just-
couple plastic ducks even.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. The opening like teal morning. Yeah, I shot a couple decoys on accident. I mean, it shit got so
I
western.
shot mine on purpose.
You just like,
It was me, him, and Jordan at Rich and Chambers draw hunt. It got foggy. We're up early, and everybody warned about being real careful because they're real shy, which was an understatement.
Yeah.
We're sitting there and we're like counting down, like we got like 2 minutes. It's sitting on the water right there.
And it kept like I don't know why it was just
It looked like it was moving. A current or a little bit of wind that we just really weren't noticing, and we're all watching it. And finally, it's like, all right, shoot it. Who's shooting it? You shoot it. Just, Abe, just shoot it. Just, fine, I'll shoot it.
no.
Bang!
Shit.
it didn't fly away.
That's a decoy.
yeah, that's a decoy.
Yeah.
So,
It's like a decoy.
eh.
Fooled you.
Happens to the best of
for
us.
sure.
And then, so you know, on the teal, I was saying I shoot the low brass number 6s. So I had a couple of those in my bag during big duck season. I had a group of gaddies come in, 4 of them on the water, 4 gadwalls with 1 low brass number 6. Crippled one was going off, finished him off,
Sure.
but killed 4 gadwalls with 1 shot.
For sure.
So,
you get that
um,
big spread
Yeah.
on that water.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
get them on the head.
So I'm
No doubt.
sold. I'm
Yeah.
sold on the improved cylinder, right? Because it's
Okay.
like, if birds are flying away, like I'll pull off and I won't shoot if I don't think I'm gonna hit them, right? But as they're
Opening that
decoying,
pattern up.
as they're decoying and they're coming in or they're coming right in front of my face, left or right, like I'm sold on the improved cylinder.
We were talking about
I
chokes the
know.
other day. Start you with an improved.
And
Because
so, you know-
early seas, they're going to be a little closer before they get
Yeah.
skittish. So start with your improved.
I know.
I'm pretty sure that's what's in mine right now.
I'm
Yeah.
shooting the full.
And I was telling you when we were dove hunting, when I grew up, I was never into duck hunting. I always thought duck hunting was more of like a, I don't know why, like it was a more of an upper class, more
Elite.
expensive,
Hoity-toity
elite-
type.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
Got
Quail
your
hunting
over
is-
under and
Yeah.
your dogs.
And you always needed full chokes because ducks flew so far away, and
Yeah.
you would always shoot passing shots at these ducks that were so high in the air. Because I didn't have like I did not understand how
Yeah.
duck hunting worked. So I was kind of always put off.
just
I
didn't
went
care
on
about
I
it,
went on
yeah.
one duck hunt with my dad has this hunting friend. We went out duck hunting, and that was very much the experience. The ducks just weren't coming in. We were shooting at passing ducks. We didn't have decoys. We were sitting on these farm ponds. Ducks were passing over high
Yeah.
shots, and I remember thinking, I'm like I can't hit these ducks because I have a modified choke, and like I just can't reach them.
Just frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I was always like really put off for some reason, and then like you just do some research. It turns out duck hunting is one of the only is one of the easier opportunities I have here in North Texas to get out and do some hunting, and just doing some research and learning like oh no, there's like more than one ways to duck hunt. Get yourself some waders and a decoy, and you can walk into a lot of public marshes
Yep.
and like you
Have
can
at
shoot, you
it.
could shoot ducks. And the more I've been researching, just the more I've been like experimenting and trying different combos, ammo combos or choke combos, and I mean I'm sold on an improved cylinder.
Improved, huh? I've got one in the bag, so
You got a whole set. You're
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Running proof
so
for
it's
that.
funny. Like
Just try it
my
out.
full choke. So all my shotguns, they always came with a full choke, but it always said no steel shot.
Yeah.
So it was always this brain fuck. That was always like, what? Like
I can't do this.
it's a
Yeah.
full choke, but I can't shoot
Steel
duck
out of-
loads. What's the deal?
Yeah.
It's because those pellets won't cramp at
Yeah,
all.
well, so that's kind of
It's
what I
hard
learned.
on
It's
the
like
chokes.
why wouldn't they just give me a full choke that I could shoot steel out of?
Way
you
too
know?
tight for ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love.
And
My friends just moved to Oregon, and they just have deer that
In
come
their
through
yard.
the neighborhood all the time.
Yep.
those Colombian blacktails.
It's a deer.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what it is. So you're talking about bears. Have you
Ooh,
any
bears.
thoughts on how you're going to try to check that box here? I mean, obviously not in the state of Texas, but
I'm so for the most part, I like the do it yourself kind of thing,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But at the same time, I recognize that
You can totally do it
the,
yourself. there.
well, you can, especially in like Oklahoma or Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty close. I
Yeah.
mean, there's bears in Texas. I know there's no
About
you can't,
Paris.
yeah, you can't
yeah,
hunt
you
'em,
can't
but I
shoot
know.
them, but they're there.
I mean, I'd love to see in my lifetime they're open a season in Texas.
would be badass.
awesome.
That would
But
be.
Oklahoma and Arkansas are so close. I mean, that's an opportunity. But I think, I mean, I would be happy. I would be happy in my lifetime if I killed one bear. And I mean, even over bait. Like I think it'd be cool to do it over hounds or do like
Yeah.
a spot and stock thing with an outfitter somewhere.
Man, we've had multiple buddies DIY at Spot and Stock in Colorado and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and
Colorado's cheap.
I'm open to that, but I've heard a lot of I've heard several guys say that they've had good experiences with like Manitoba or some of the
Oh,
Canadian
yeah.
provinces.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I mean I'm totally open to that too. Like
That
you-
turns into a cast and blast real fast.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
which would be awesome, right? To catch some like northerns or
Yes.
some smallmouth or whatever they got up
get
there,
some pikes.
and yeah, and then shoot a bear. I mean I don't care if it's over bait. I mean someone's done most of the work for
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
I don't mind if I come in and I just drop the string on a nice bear and
Absolutely. I mean,
I want to kill a bear too.
yeah, and I really
when we
want
go to Colorado next year.
Lauren and I were gonna put down a deposit on a mountain lion hunt this year
nice
for a couple of years, and we just didn't because everything got weird. That's like top of my bucket list right now.
over hounds or how?
Yeah,
that's,
because-
that's probably like the only way.
And that was my thing. Is like I'm pretty confident I can go kill a bear on my own, an elk on my own.
But you can't really
Maybe
do the
a moose.
lion thing.
I'm not gonna spot and stalk a mountain lion probably. I'm
Did
probably
you
gonna
see that?
find
spot
Did you
one.
see that
stock
shit on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Did
The
you see
mama,
that?
on
she's
Facebook.
charging.
Yeah,
hitting the
dude.
ground.
That was.
That dude was shitting his pants.
Oh my
for
god!
sure.
I can't. I was like, this went on for 6 minutes. Like, no.
Longest 6 minutes of his life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you remember the guy 2 years ago that choked the thing out?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was.
that would be my first play.
Yeah. Just.
Go after that bitch.
I mean, you're gonna fight as hard as that thing's
Yeah.
gonna fight.
Yeah,
I feel like you would win almost 100% of the time.
They have 20 knives attached.
I
to
know,
them.
yeah, but you know they don't use their
You
knives
ever
to
been,
like
you ever
for
been
to
scratched by a
like.
cat?
I've been.
Y-
Now,
it's-
imagine
but I'm
that,
saying
like,
like,
it's very
on
superficial.
steroids.
if you are fighting as hard as that cat's fighting. I mean, if one just jumps out of nowhere and gets you from surprise attack,
Back of the neck.
advantage to the cat all the way. But if you are in that dude situation where he's backing away, he's facing that lion, and that lion he's got a second to kind of get his hands up and get it around it. I mean, you're gonna. I feel like the advantage is on you as a
And
human
if
being.
you, as a human being, being bigger and taller, if you charged it,
Yeah,
I have to believe that it would like
Yeah.
shit its pants a little bit.
absolutely. I mean, granted, you're gonna get scratched up, but
Yeah.
who's gonna
Lion
die?
challenge.
Yeah.
Do you think that if a lion attacked you head on, like you face to face,
No, you attacked a lion.
yeah, you
If you attacked
you
a
get
lion.
out and find that fucking dog.
Yes.
You think you would absolutely take you would. I mean, I'm not saying that you're gonna walk out like whoop that
You're gonna
bitch's
be-
ass,
You're gonna be filleted open like ribbons.
You can be alive though.
but you're gonna be.
I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Unless
claw
you-
marks
and-
across my face forever.
But I don't
Scar.
think I think that your
You're gonna
face will
lose an
be.
eye. You're gonna lose an eye.
No, I don't think so.
Say bye to
Your
left
hands are
eye,
gonna
it's
be up
gone.
before that lion gets its paws over
No,
to
it'll
you.
get it.
Dude's dick
Dude.
scars.
I mean, you're gonna be cut up. You're gonna be hurt.
Do you like smelling things?
But-
anymore. Lion's gonna take your nose.
That's the
Got
stupidest.
your nose.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, no, it's not. No.
You're losing at
God.
least a digit. One of them.
Maybe,
I don't know. It's gonna be a real bad.
but you're
situation.
you're gonna give that
I
line
think
enough
you-
of a
I
fight.
think
It's out of here.
eventually, you'll win that fight. But I think if you're fighting a fucking mountain lion straight up, dude, you've wandered into our territory now. Now we have a taste for lions.
Oh,
Well-
Austin doesn't remember that because he only watched that movie once with me. The other guys,
Yeah, the tuna, they're organized. They'll
my
develop
God.
breathing apparatuses out of kelp.
out of kelp.
I haven't seen that movie.
But if I'm on a trail, like I've got a knife on me,
yeah,
if I can't somehow get a hold of that thing and grab my knife and slip it right there,
into
I just have a hard time. I don't
just see, I'm
It's
glad
easy
I
somebody's
like
here.
the idea.
know. It's easy to it's easy to say what
Exactly.
you would have done differently.
Exactly.
There's a good friend. His father once told me it's shank, slice.
Shank slice. That's right. Yeah, that's
Wasn't that a movie?
No, legitimately, my friend Sergio, his father told us that
Say no
the
more.
night we went out for his
He
bachelor
had me
party.
as Sergio.
His dad's name's Sergio too, though. But yeah, he told us. Shank,
Senior.
slice.
Well,
We also drank tequila from a bottle that was shaped like an AK-47.
yeah. I've seen
you know you're doing it right.
It was, yeah.
So are you gonna do the lion hunt then?
Yeah, for sure. Eventually,
Dry ground or like snow?
probably snow, but I don't know.
Get
As cold as you
those
get?
First light bibs.
I'm gonna buy first light bid. It's so warm.
I
Well,
have to get some more Sitka gear.
No, first light bib. It's so warm.
Be
will
so
you
warm.
do me a favor, and will you please put in for a Wyoming point if you still can?
Figure it out for me. I'll give you my information.
Okay,
What
fine,
happened with
done.
the Richland thing?
Done.
You're my little assistant.
I've
I'm so
done
glad
it.
you're home.
What happened
Yeah.
with Richland?
We
Nothing
didn't
yet.
draw.
At all? Did I do your second draw already?
Last I saw, we were pending second draw
Yeah.
on most everything. So
Well, go do standby.
yeah,
Let's see what happens.
means we get to take off work on a Friday.
Yep.
So how'd the rest of y'all's teal season go?
It was. I went out and hunted one more time, and I watched TV on my
Oh,
phone.
you did.
Out
I
of the
forgot
long
about
tail,
that.
or did you walk in?
Yeah, longtail.
I was gonna go
On
with
Grapevine?
you. I
No.
didn't. Where is that when you went to Tawakoni or?
Yeah, well, another lake, Levon.
Is that
Then
right?
we went to the coast, and that was it.
Yeah, that was. It was.
Oh, the coast was dog
Yeah,
shit.
it
Yeah, the
was-
hurricane blew them out. We were pretty
We
sure
heard a
that
few
was-
other people shooting,
That doesn't mean there's.
but
And
I
they
mean,
could
but,
be shooting it
right.
anything. Man,
Yeah,
I
that's-
was walking out of Grapevine and I saw dudes shooting it just shit on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the marsh and kind of laughing and joking and being
Oh, the
idiots.
pigs just showed up. See, look at that.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can you drop that trap?
Well, there's not a
or-
trap
This
there.
is just a camera.
That's just on the feeder.
Yeah, this is just.
Oh,
a
there's no.
feeder.
I thought it was one of the.
No, that's what we were
We would
talking
just-
about. Is
yeah.
after last night, I'm like, I want to buy a cell activated switch so bad. And build us a gate, move that trap, and we go sitting here like now, like boom. All right, we got 20 pigs.
Yeah.
Like,
Put it
who's,
on-
who's
put it on
going
a card.
tomorrow?
Yeah. Put it on a card.
Okay, so say you trap that many pigs in a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got time to go in the morning and take care of them.
No, we go
What
after
happens
work the next
tomorrow?
day.
Okay, but so what happens to all of those pigs? Y'all drag them to a
Cut up
specific
what we
location.
want, and if not, then we go.
Yeah, we
dump
call
them.
everyone like yourself.
We call
like,
you and say, "Hey,
All right, here's the deal.
You
If
want 30 pigs?
If you want to come out and get them, it's appreciated. Otherwise, you depending on our mood when we get there, you might get a backstrap, or they might get drug off to the
No,
boneyard.
but y'all have I was gonna say y'all have a boneyard.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely,
for
Mhm.
sure.
Now that we have side by side,
Y'all do any varmint like coyote hunting or anything?
we've
Been
tried,
out there before,
but
yeah.
the grass was real tall. I don't know. Has he finished cutting, or is it
No, I
still
told him not to.
okay?
We'll
The
wait
grass
until-
is like 5 feet tall, and so, I mean, they run through there, but just trying to,
I've got
You know.
ideas,
have them cut the grass, and then,
but
But on the properties y'all hunt, are coyotes or any other predators?
seen
like,
some
are they an issue or
No.
they're just
No.
they're there? The pigs
Yeah.
are the issue.
yeah,
I bet. I mean, we have 3 feeders running right now. Every night at 8 o'clock, there's 10 to 20 pigs under every feeder every night.
When did they start coming in like that, or it's been like that consistently since you put them?
It's gotten worse since because there's always been 2 feeders out there, then one went down, had to be replaced. The other
Yeah,
one
we went
through not consistently because we just didn't mess with it all summer. Now that all 3 are operational and on a schedule, they're just pouring into that property.
Just all nocturnally, like they don't
but
come
on
in
the
during the day.
dot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like sun goes down, 8 o'clock.
yeah. And do those feeders spread feed at a certain time?
Yeah.
7-5,
So
5 p.m.
okay,
We-
7 and 5.
So idea with feeders is like we throw at 5 because dark at this. This will adjust at time change, but 5. It's 2 hours before. It's out there in case they come out earlier, but you get out there right before it throws, and it gives you have plenty of time to hunt because you throw it right at dark, and if they're looking for it and they come out and you're too late, so you want a window.
You feel like you can manipulate the time they choose to come in, or no?
I can say
think so.
I can say buddies places who feed year round. It's a dinner bell. Like they will come.
I feel like the pigs out at the farm have kind of gotten.
Oh, for sure.
Like we've gotten them. They come at a certain time.
At 8 o'clock.
So is anyone archery hunting after dark?
I had one
one
pig
time,
lights.
yeah.
I
Well,
ran
what you talk about last night?
Oh yeah.
You forgot to tell them about last night.
So I mean, we've got 2 stands that have hog lights, so you could. It sucks. And we have 2 rifles with night vision. And other piles of rifles.
Yeah, you know how
so-
you were talking about the cats earlier?
Yeah.
The first time I ever, like, infrared or night vision, whatever you call it, hunted for hogs. No hogs came in, but I thought they were hogs, but they were the neighbor's dogs running in on a
Oh,
line.
Brandon was kind of talking about that. right?
Yeah.
And you just see these white figures running in, and you're like, oh, are those hogs? No, I think they're coyotes. And you're, like, getting ready, and you're like, no, that kind of looks like a
Labrador.
lab.
one's real big, one's real small. I think this is I had in the woods feeder, I had like 3 dogs walk through, and one was real long and big, and the other 2 were smaller. And so I didn't do anything because I thought they were domestic dogs, and I don't know what it was too dark. I could make them out, but I could not tell any detail,
Yeah.
and just was like, I could not deal with shooting a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Like that's
So my buddy called his neighbor and he was like, "Hey, we've got your dogs coming in on our property while we're trying to hunt hogs at night. Can you like try to
fucking
like,
take care of your dogs.
take care of your dogs?" And the
Is that tonight?
At 8:06 on the dot.
oh, look at that one on the right. That's
There's
big.
so many.
Pigs.
So-
I thought you were showing me there's a deer or something.
No, they were there. They didn't show up tonight.
Well, that dude's neighbor says like those
Saturday, and we'll go back out on Sunday.
What are you doing Friday?
And
I
let him
gotta-
finish his story.
I gotta play golf with a buddy.
So domestic dogs. The owner of the dogs was saying, you know what, those dogs have been good. They've been some good dogs. At this point, I think whatever happens happens.
Oh my god!
Oh my God!
So he's like, yeah, I guess this guy gave me permission to kill his dogs, but I just don't know if
I hate to
No
say this.
way.
I don't
Is he
know that
asking
like
you to?
I would watch a kid get punched in the face before I'd watch a dog die. I know that's messed up, but I'm gonna push it all
Depends on
in.
who's punching the kid in the face.
Does
You
the
know,
kid deserve it?
I don't really
Bro.
care.
Is it
at
like
this
a
point.
kid with a grape slushie when you're driving down the road?
It's
Because that kid deserves it.
At this point, I would rather watch a kid get punched in the face than a dog. 100%.
in 2020 where we're at right now.
Where we're at right
I
now,
agree.
when if you don't vote, you are taking the soul of the country away.
Thank you. I needed that. I've been in between. All right, here we go.
Oh God,
Thank you.
I had to watch the news a lot this weekend, and it
Anyways,
was terrible.
we're
I was
not
like,
going
why are
down
we
that
We're not
watching
going
this?
down this
No,
rabbit hole.
I can't watch the news. It's
No,
terrible.
you cannot. You
I'm
should not.
I'm voting, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
me
Thank
too.
you.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
too will also vote. Yeah, it's
Cue
a
the Hulk Hogan song.
Yeah.
I am a real American.
Oh,
How about Dak Prescott, man? Pour
We're
one
not
out for
talking
our
about
homie.
No,
football on
stop.
this hunting
No one
podcast.
cares.
Yes, they do. People are like, yes, finally, the good stuff.
Not at all.
I'm just
I've
so
just been
glad that I've
waiting.
got a sports buddy with me now.
Have you ever archery hunted at night?
No.
It sucks.
Because so I mean, imagine.
Could you hunt?
with-
could
with
you
this
archery
low-
hunt with a light, like a hog light over
I
a feeder?
probably would, yeah. So I mean, I've done a couple like 3D like shoots at night,
Yeah,
and,
and
I mean,
that's
it's a hell of a lot of fun. But like it's like especially with trad equipment where you
Yeah.
have no lights,
yeah.
it's like aiming is completely different.
I was gonna say because at least with my compound, I've got the lighted
light on your
pins, so I can see my pins.
But even
which-
your peep is
It
blacked
disappears.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're just-
That was my issue.
yeah.
I mean-
because I've got a rheostat of mine that will light my pins up at dark.
Yeah.
A tiny little
Y'all
light.
need
Yours
to-
doesn't
Mine too.
out.
Yep.
Someone needs to come out with a peep that lights up.
Yeah.
What I've figured out: headlamp on red. Adjust it.
Gives you
Shoot
just
lefty,
enough.
adjust it to the side of the head.
Gives you just enough.
Gives you that.
Just something you can see that find that peep to
Yeah.
put them together.
That's so. I just want to kind of rewind real quick. What happened last night?
Oh, I went out and do an evening sit out the farm where we're looking at these pig pictures.
Oh yes, I forgot all about this. Sorry.
Settle down,
I just
broken
heard-
leg football guy.
Hey, keep your pants on over there, buddy.
Yeah, you want me to?
I do want you to keep your pants
So-
on. Yes.
Well, I get there and right at prime time, Abe. Same for me, please.
Can you beer Austin one beer?
Yeah. Yeah, that's whatever.
Beer me dose Long Island iced tea.
So I was sitting, prime time, what, sometime between 6:15 and 7.
Just about sundown.
Right before, golden hour, right when stuff usually is kind of starting to move. Two things start, I see some movement, and I was like, oh, here it goes, it's going to happen, let's do this, yeah. Is that funny?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's badass. Let's do this.
Hey, dude.
But I'm stoked.
Don't get excited. He's getting excited about hunting, dude. Why are you hating on him?
So
Don't hunt
something was
shame
moving,
him.
and I was like,
Don't
what is
hunt
that? Like,
shame.
is that? It was small in the bushes. Is it a coyote? Is that, a weasel? Like a raccoon? It was weird. And all of a sudden, over this little crest, 2 house cats.
yes.
Straight to the feeder. They kind of walk the feeder. The black and white one licks the ground or something. And
I
lays
wonder if
down
they
for minute.
got a raccoon or got a squirrel there or something.
I don't know.
You know,
Anything. I mean,
a
imagine,
bird or something.
Yeah, it makes sense actually. If they got a bird or like a squirrel,
They come
sure,
to that
back,
like.
yeah.
So they wandered through. My anger was immeasurable. If those deer smell those cats or see them, they probably are like, whitetail being so squirrely. So at that point, I'm just so angry.
Not today, Kittler.
Finish out the set. Come 7, I think, last shooting night, 7:22. And and it's that is the correct time legally, and I could barely see my pins at that point, so it's done. I get my stuff together and gather blind, and then I pop up. I got a solar panel I need to put on the camera to feeder. I was just waiting until the hunt was done and walk out. Get over there, solar panel, my backpack, my bow, everything sitting 20 yards away at the pop-up blind. I got out and heard pigs, way out in the field, not abnormal, whatever. Well, as I'm standing there, they run up to about 10 yards from me, look at me, and kind of grunt, and then trot off. Not like unhappy that I'm there, just like, eh. So
Let this asshole finish at the
I'm
buffet.
like, whew, all right, well, that's kind of stressful.
Puckering.
I mean, it was 10 plus. All right, well, interesting. Whatever, they ran off. That's cool.
No sidearm, no rifle.
Nothing. Didn't even have either of those things with me. I don't think I had my gut hook and my replaceable blade, like skinning knife, in my backpack, but I didn't even have a pocket knife because I was just going to do an evening hunt. I was going to shoot a doe, could drive my truck out, put it in the truck, take it to the cleaning station, and get work done, right? I didn't really have it's the farm.
Any plan?
I hadn't have any worries. It's the farm.
We need to get a
Matata.
bucket.
We do.
Yeah.
Do what?
Said Hakuna Matata.
Yes, exactly.
It means no worries for the rest of your days.
That's
I
just
speak
how they
Lion
trot
King.
it off.
All Hakuna Matata like.
So,
One of them had a squirrel on his back, like just fucking trotting along. What the fuck is this shit?
so then I start walking back to the truck. I go get my stuff, walk back to the truck. Another group of pigs run straight at me and stops and snorts, like unhappy with me at that
Like-
point. And that point, I'm like, all right, I'm sketched out right now. because there was no like we're scared of this human, and more like wrong side of the tracks, dude.
Yeah, we help you, blood.
Yeah.
This is in the
Warriors,
pop-up?
come out
You were
to
in the
play.
Pop-up line?
I was walking.
What up, blood?
Both times they came at me, I was outside the blind. I've
Suge
said
Knight
this
running
before.
up on
I've
you.
been.
This is Bompton.
I yell, hey pig, you know, just trying to make some noise. I'm kind of ooked out at this point. I've been around a lot of pigs, shot a lot of pigs, and I'm kind of like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Because you hear the stories about pigs tearing people up, right? So
Not
I
very
call-
many.
Hmm?
Not very many.
Exactly, and
It's
and
typically,
people
it's
talk about
typically
it,
old ladies.
and I'm always, but I'm always the same guy to say the same thing. Like it's not a big deal. I've been around a lot of
Yeah.
pigs; they'll run off. These weren't that worried.
Yeah.
And I called Jared and I was like, "Hey, A, I'm gonna talk to you, so I have somebody to talk to, so I'm making noise, and B, in case shit goes bad."
It gets southern.
And I was like, because this just happened, and so I'm walking parallel to that tree line.
yeah.
They're standing there watching me. They never left.
They're just like,
So they're walking down the tree
whoa,
line.
yes.
They're walking down
Cue
the
the
tree
Halloween
line
music.
with me.
Yeah.
Like they followed me.
Huh.
Stalking.
So I was like, this is uncomfortable.
What if they ate you?
My concern exactly.
Do you think you could take a pig on with
no,
your bare hands?
absolutely not.
take one of your arrows out.
Yeah,
Shut-
9mm did so well. My arrow.
It's just
Hand
like,
gripped arrow, just
yeah, totally gonna
this
work.
is just like fighting that mountain lion.
yeah.
You'd be able to take him.
You know how thick
No.
a pig is?
Yeah,
You're not gonna be able to. No. It's
That's
gonna
why with the
kill
mountain
you.
lion, you could probably get that sucker in like a a headlock. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Go
right.
to sleep. Go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Get on the top rope and do an elbow drop. on him.
Exactly.
It's your finishing move.
Grab
Just
him by
like
the
put it
tail
in
and
the-
swing him around your head.
It's like
Tarzan that thing.
Exactly. But yeah, so
Oh
the
my
pigs,
God.
it really ooked me out last night.
I can imagine.
Like-
I'd have been running.
10 to 12 pigs running straight at you, and then
Yeah.
going like,
Like
and then
on the
trotting
phone with him
15
giggling.
yards away, and then just standing there like,
I've walked up on a feeder before, and it scares. I'm just like, oh god, like,
yeah, this is pitch black.
yeah.
All I've got is a bow and arrow.
You ever
Yeah.
get in the trap with them while they're in there?
Oh no.
You want to see a video
Oh.
of this in the trap?
Next time,
No.
give me a call.
Oh my god.
Why?
Yeah, I was giggling the whole
'Cause,
time. he was
man,
on the
it's
phone with
like-
me, and I was just like,
They're more
Nervous
afraid
laughter.
of you than you are of them.
I was
I've had-
like
in a
on the
trap.
couch.
I've had them hit the fence at me in a trap.
Oh
multiple
no
times.
shit.
Yeah.
Nice. I've kicked a couple. in my day.
Just punt a pig.
Yeah.
I'll kick a little kid. I mean, I'll kick a pig.
I'll kick a little pig.
I'll run one over side by side.
Pig. We're not talking about kids. We're talking about pigs.
I mean,
So yeah, that was a little sketchy last night.
I was on
And
the
I like
couch.
knew you were
Damn,
like
sh-
either
on an airplane.
yeah or something. I knew
Damn.
Jordan was in Florida. Both of you doing whatever happens in Florida. And I was like, I'm gonna call
He's
Jared.
experiencing the Magic
I
Kingdom.
was the last line of defense.
And I was
there.
because I clearly wasn't gonna call my wife.
Jordan's
and get her
blowing
all
his
spun up.
Jordan's blowing his personal and lifetime savings
Yeah,
right
on
now
butterbeer and,
on
and
but-
sticks. Mark
butterbeer
Hill.
and Harry
He just
Juan
posted
Potters.
He's at Moe's. He's at Moe's Tavern right now.
What is that?
Nice. Is this the
From
one you said was
Simpsons.
in the trap for like a
Oh,
week?
he's straight up. He's in Universal still. Then
she's
yeah,
at Universal, yeah.
She was real skinny.
dude, Universal
She
Studios
looks
is pretty
fit.
badass. Have you been before?
Damn,
Disney.
I'm surprised she couldn't like jump out of there.
There's no way she.
You look at how that feeder's hanging. She beat the piss.
She
out
was
of it.
running and jumping. She
Her
was
face
pissed.
was bleeding.
Ugh.
Nice. Yeah, she looked pissed.
Mama.
Are those? Is that? The females don't have like protruding tusks.
Oh, they
do
can. She was pretty young. They'll get cutters. That skull right, that big skull. That was a female.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
She was a big one.
Is that from?
Dan's.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first pigs ever shot.
Sweet.
Not the first, but one of.
Speaking of which, you get my keychain? Yeah. Did you make that?
I just need to drill holes.
Oh.
On a tusk or a cutter.
His first
Yeah.
pig, I pulled the cutters. And,
Nice. Yeah, so you killed a pig, your first pig recently?
At the forest, maybe about a month and a half ago now.
Mhm.
We were sitting out in the blind with Lauren, and she just had regular scope. I had his night vision, and the sun goes down, waiting, and he comes in from the
I'm
left.
missing
and
fish on a frog.
I made noise
We
pulling
both
up
like,
the
"Eh."
rifle.
Yeah, let's sit
and
down.
He spooked off, and I got really fucking pissed. I was like, I just spooked him off. It's
Blew
done."
your chance, yeah.
20 minutes later, he comes right back in, and he's
They've lost their fear of humans.
turned towards me,
Yes.
kind of like quarter
They'll try
turned
to eat
towards
us
me.
now.
And I go to shoot and realize I still have the safety on. So I
No.
click it off. He heard it, turned, I shot, he was down.
Nice.
And then the last time we went out there, had a pretty decent group come in. I shot a few times trying to get more than one, but I took down, I don't know, that last one was maybe, what, like 50, 60 pounds?
Yeah, 60 plus.
But yeah, now that we got the Southern Night Vision on my AR, we're trying to get that sighted in because, well, like, I'm just ready to hunt.
Yeah.
I'm ready to shoot
Yeah,
some
yeah.
things and get some meat, and so
Yeah, as the weather cools down, like I'm starting to feel like
It's that time of the year.
yeah.
ready to get into the.
I've
I
got
don't-
the itch.
I don't know that this is my year. Like now having an infant, it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be tougher.
it like
More
life
tough.
life is like turned upside down. So I'll probably get out and
You have a new
some
hobby.
Big
It's called being a dad.
yeah, and I mean rightfully so, right? You gotta
Absolutely.
enjoy it.
Have you killed some pigs before?
Yeah. So before I became an arborist, I worked at an old folks facility, and one of the residents, I met her son, and her son's a really cool guy, and he's a hunter. He's killed. Yeah, I mean he's a bow hunter. He's traveled up to Canada. He's killed black bear. He whitetail hunts all over, and he's got himself a little ranch up in Justin. And he was like, "Hey, yeah, we got pigs. If you want to come out and try to kill a pig, like feel free." So he's got some elevated stands, elevated rifle stands, and at the time he was trying to work on getting some bow stands. But he has this elevated rifle stand. He invited me to come out. I came out, and sure enough, he's like, "The pigs come in at this certain time," and they came in when he said they would. And I shot this big old boar like right in the neck with my recurve cedar arrows. My top limb hit the top of the blind, and just like it wasn't that far of a shot. I don't know. I just think just because the way my limb hit, kicked my shot off a little bit. I hit him a little forward, and I texted him. I was like, "Hey man, I hit this pig like." It was a little forward, but it looked lethal. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Thanks for killing that pig." He's like, "I'm sure you killed it. Just don't go looking for it. Don't go putting your scent through my woods because deer season's starting soon." So he never let me go find that pig.
Oh yeah.
And then he let me come out like another week, like a week later or a couple days later, and sitting in the same spot, and I could see a bunch of buzzards circling, and
Yeah.
I gotta assume they were like
Yep.
over wherever
Yeah.
that pig was. That was the first pig that I killed in Texas, and then since then I've had a couple buddies who have let me come out and hunt their ranches. And I had that one guy or the same buddy had a neighbor who trapped a bunch of hogs, let me come out and kill a couple and take those and butcher them. So
Do you do any rifle hunting or just bow?
flintlock count?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to start doing that.
Yeah, I mean it's a shitload of fun. Like, I have one a buddy of mine.
That's still bow range, basically.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Well, I'd say I'm comfortable out to like 70,
Okay.
70, 75 yards with the flintlock. It's a 54 caliber.
Shooting
So
for
you know,
fun.
Yeah.
you know, what's that movie, Mountain Man? What's his name? I think the movie is Mountain Man with Robert Redford. He's got the red
Oh.
beard. He's up.
Maybe.
He's up. He wants to be a beaver trapper. Goes up into the Rockies, and he finds Hatchet Jack, the dead dude that's frozen to a tree. He's got the Hawken rifle. He's
Okay.
dead and frozen. So Robert Redford's character goes up, reads the letter that the dude left on his chest, and he says, "I leave my rifle to the first person that finds it. After I've been, it was a good rifle. It killed the bear that killed me." Type thing. So he takes the rifle, and I have the same replica rifle, but it's a flintlock instead of the cap percussion. So like your little pistol in there is also flint. And it's an awesome little rifle. It takes real black powder, or it's recommended to take the real black powder instead of the modern Pyrodex stuff that you
Yeah.
can get at
Academy or
yeah.
Bass Pro or wherever.
So the real actual black powder is pretty hard to come by. I found a dealer supplier that will let me purchase the black powder, and it's pretty cool stuff, man. And it's a shitload of fun. And that's if I shoot a deer with a rifle, that'll probably be the rifle that I choose. I have a 30-30 that's I mean also like a time tested round
Absolutely.
as far as deer calibers go. But
Texas whitetail, man, 100 yards or less.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
and I mean same situation with the flintlock. So I mean if I'm intentionally going rifle hunting, I'm probably going to try the flintlock. Other than that, it's just all
You're
archery
just
for me.
interested in the traditional weapons?
Yeah,
really?
I guess so. You know,
That's cool.
So I think a lot of my mentality comes from like this poor broke white kid in California. Like I have got almost like this poverty mentality as far as anything goes. So I would rather build it myself, do it myself.
I don't know if that's poverty. I don't want you to sell yourself short like that.
Yeah.
You just want to do stuff on your own.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
respect that.
Yeah. So like when I was 13, for Christmas I used all my gift cards and my cash from Christmas, and I bought a compound bow, and I had a lot of fun with that. But I kind of got burnt out on the accessories, like having to like update and get like I kind of got caught up in like you gotta get a new sight or a new rest and all this stuff. So I kind of like got burnt out on that, and then on top of that, buying arrows, like you got to buy arrows by like a dozen or so, and if you want to buy good arrows, they're
Expensive.
$60 to $100 a dozen type thing, and I kind of got burnt out on that, and my girlfriend at the time, she bought me a laminated recurve bow, and I thought it was awesome, and I started building my own arrows to shoot out of that bow, and I kind of got hooked on like the do-it-yourself type thing, and started building my own bows and doing that whole thing. Went down that rabbit hole, and then with the rifle, I just haven't. If I want to buy a high-powered rifle, I want to make like a good investment and buy like a nice one. So I don't know that I'm there yet, or I don't know what I want just yet.
Sure.
So I'm having fun with the black powder thing. I have a 30-30. It's an H&R single shot with a Vortex scope on it. So it's, I mean, at 100 yards and in, it's
Money.
optimal. And the 30-30 is awesome. Whoever had it before me, it was a pawn shop purchase, custom like carved the stock, and it's got this really cool like it looks like a dude with this cool mustache, swirly mustache carved down into the stock. It's like
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. And besides that, I mean, that's my primary like deer rifle. If I have an opportunity to go, I got the black powder, and then second to that, I still have a compound. And I mean, my opinion, if you live in Texas and you want to hunt, I think everyone should, because they're so inexpensive nowadays. Like a compound bow, you can get an older one. Like if you're talking 20 to 30 yards, you don't need a super high-tech, high-performing bow. You can buy a less expensive bow at a pawn shop that will do the job.
For sure.
So I mean, I'm a firm believer in if you're a hunter in Texas or you want to hunt in Texas, you need to be proficient in shooting a compound, because if you get an opportunity to hunt, there's a likelihood that it's going to be in a stand over a feeder, and that's going to do the job. So I still, even though I build my own bows and I shoot a lot of traditional laminate bows, I still believe like I'll still keep a compound on the shelf, and I still shoot that pretty regularly. And when I get the opportunity, like I have several means or methods to
Take.
yeah. And
So if you shoot at your recurves, or self-built a bunch, is going to shoot a compound just a cakewalk with all
Yeah,
with
really
the
is.
rest and pins
oh,
and all of that?
absolutely, yeah. It's yeah, it's I would consider myself a very, very proficient compound shooter. Although I'd rather not shoot compounds, and I'd rather shoot traditional. I feel like I could pick up I would bet money that I could pick up any individual's compound bow and bet them that I could shoot a tighter group than they could with their own bow. And
Compound bow challenge.
yeah, right.
Because just shooting stick bows, it's just ugh.
I can't believe you haven't gone down that rabbit
Are you
hole
kidding? Why?
Have you met
Because
this
that's-
guy? No.
seems
That
like your
doesn't-
kinda thing.
No, not at all.
No, it doesn't. Why do you say that?
He doesn't
I'm,
even wanna fly
I'm,
fish.
I'm just.
I just feel like if you were going to pick up fly fishing or trad bow, you'd pick up the trad bow before you'd pick up fly fishing.
Why do you remember the only reason I started shooting archery is for
An
more
additional-
access.
yeah, like
additional
more
time,
more
archery
opportunity
season.
to shoot.
more
Yeah.
opportunity as a
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
I've come to enjoy it,
And that's why I figured you would go
but I
down that
don't
rabbit hole.
like. I feel proficient
Well,
enough to
here's the
shoot a
deal.
whitetail at 30 yards.
Yeah.
I couldn't shooting that day with Jordan's bow fishing setup. I couldn't hit a fish without a pin.
Really? So y'all were shooting?
I shot 100+ arrows that
Yeah.
day and couldn't hit a fish.
Go lower.
I don't know how to shoot my foot off. Like, it was completely my fault. It's not. I'm not trying to blame the bow. It was completely my
I
incompetency.
Can't wait to do that trip again.
Bless.
We need to do that
Did you have a kayak?
at least 2 or
I
3
do have a
times.
kayak, so I bought a kayak this year with my stimulus check. What?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, just a cheap.
Proper
I
use.
bought a cheap Lifetime, and I figured because I'm a budget. You know, how y'all. I noticed on your podcast you'll throw the word cheap around, or you'll say like Austin is cheap, right? Or
Yeah.
like,
Cheap.
I always like to use
I
the
say-
term thrifty.
I say yeah, you're right. You
We're
throw
thrifty.
the no. I'll say budget. Y'all are budget minded, right?
Totally.
Absolutely.
So and like I'm on that same train.
Who am I kidding? I'm cheap, dude. I don't
Yeah,
like spending
fucking-
fucking money. I don't care.
So like the kayak I bought it for $200, and I figure if there's anything else I wanted to do, I'll just build it on top of it,
There you go.
Exactly.
right? And I'll go from there.
He'll do
and then
better than you.
No
offense.
doubt he will. There, you can't get worse than the blue kayak I had, which was a $200 lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, Dick's special.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, if you want to sit in your kayak for
9 hours.
10 hours,
yeah, you
the
gotta
Brazos
you gotta
run, man.
you gotta
It's so much. It's so much fun.
yeah, but I mean also like as far as kayaks go, you need to like those cheap ones. You really need to upgrade the seat. And I know that
Yeah.
there's like mounts you could do to like
That was
there's DIY mounts you could do to like upgrade the seat setup because if you're
Well,
gonna be in it
yeah,
for
yours is kind of like that, right? Like your
My
little
wife's
seat
got a
mounts.
super cheap little thing, and all she
Like
did was
this.
buy. a
So
butt
mine
pad.
is the same seat
So
that
you
you would
can
have,
foam
but
butt
it's
pad.
just
Yeah.
The
raised
rack
up.
is like
That's
yeah,
it. Yeah. So that just is moved it on top, so it's 3 inches.
I was
off the
riding in the Cadillac.
You were.
You did have the nice kayak,
I was in the caddy.
nice.
So yeah, man, you have to.
but
go-
I mean, even
next time you go back.
mine was.
It
To
was
the
so much-
Brazos?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I haven't
my
been
God.
on that river, and I know that there's
It's
a
fun.
section of
I
it
was
where
telling
people.
them how much fun it is, and now it's great.
Yeah, because you caught a couple good fish on that, right?
I caught.
A pile of bass.
He caught the most fish. I caught the biggest.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, you caught fish, didn't you?
Two.
Yeah.
Then I got real hard up to. I had my blowgun.
Yeah.
yeah,
And-
with the reel setup. Nice.
And I had then Jordan brought his bow fishing bow,
I could have said it that
and I got real
Cliff. Just
hung up on shooting the
No.
bow.
That was-
I mean, I shot,
Just
shot, and
camp
shot.
right
I
there.
ended up like a mile behind them at one point and had to go catch up and shot.
Yeah.
So, I was.
Jared. I almost
Very
had heat stroke.
I became very uninterested.
We just
in
almost
real-
decided
in
to live there.
conventional fishing after
Yeah.
Jordan was like,
Sorry for
"Here,
partying.
shoot the bow."
yeah, but
I
so
was
you
with
like
you,
you
man.
like the blow pipe too, right?
That was a COVID purchase because I found a
Yeah.
pond that's just loaded full of gar, and I caught a couple on conventional tackle and came to understand that, and I was like, I don't want to buy a bow setup yet because I'm cheap, and so I had the Shields gift card, and that blowgun was like $50,
Yeah.
and I had
The-
an old
the Cold
reel.
Steel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so then
When are you gonna? We
then
just
I
need
took
to
a-
split the stupid thing.
I took a dart and took my Dremel and cut some in
Some barbs on those
cut
broadheads.
Yeah, cut some barbs on
Yeah.
that and tie it off at some real light braid and,
Yeah.
and put it out super glue. And I mean, it shoots.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's cool. I
I,
still
I,
wanna go
I haven't killed the fish with the blowpipe yet, but I've killed quite a bit of squirrels with the with
Really?
one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you can probably do that in my backyard if you need to.
Oh man,
yeah.
you should get one. So I mean, we were talking about like weapons and like how I tend to gravitate towards like more primitive style things. The blowpipe's right up there. Like I love it. I want to make like a traditional one out of wood, but like I
I don't
gravitate
even know how
towards
you
like
do that.
I gravitate towards all that stuff because I think I really appreciate where like weapons like that have brought humanity.
yeah.
Like the bow, the whole bow thing, like the compound bows are so far removed from what the bow used to be, and I really like that's what like probably one of my biggest passions in life is like the bow and the role it played in like
yeah.
creating us as humans, like putting food on the table, and yeah, I like all those like primitive style weapons. I think there's a place for them like today, and I think there's a place for them in the past and today, and I just think they're a lot of fun. Like teaching archery, I've had a lot of the parents come up and want to shoot the bows after I've instructed their kids, and just traditional bows in general, like really takes an adult back to a more
Simpler
childlike
time, yeah.
yeah, childlike enjoyment,
Wonderment.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So, I think if even if you don't want to pick it up and go down the rabbit hole, man, it's still a shitload of fun just to pick up a recurve or a longbow and just fling arrows. Especially because like if you're worried about your arrows going through the fence and killing your neighbor's kid, like a recurve or a longbow, it's not going to do that. Like the arrows do not have the velocity to do that. If you have an okay backstop,
Yeah.
yeah, you can shoot for hours and days the same set of arrows, and you're not going to break arrows like you would a compound. You don't have to be as careful and make sure your arrows are in the foam because because the velocity on a compound is so extreme
Mine's a
in
screamer.
comparison. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to.
Whereas
It's like
this-
296 with 400 grain arrows.
Yeah, anywhere
Screamer.
around 300 is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And in my self bows, I bet I'm like half that, maybe
Yeah.
150, 170 like max, and that's like 10 grains per pound of bow weight for like on your arrow.
Yeah.
Um,
That's insanity.
like the arrows that I shoot are way slower, but with the
You're
proper.
getting a deer this weekend. I feel it.
What y'all gonna do?
We're gonna get him his first deer.
It makes me anxious thinking about it.
It's happening.
What?
With the
I'm
crossbow.
gonna feel bad, honestly though, if like we're gonna go out Saturday night. If it happens Saturday night and he's not there, because he's been like,
Why?
I feel like my biggest cheerleader on it.
So this is
He
and
was
this
the
is
one
with
who
the crossbow,
originally
right?
was like, you know what, dude, this year you're gonna get a doe. I want you to shoot a doe out here. Like before, I mean, not that you have. I mean, you got me the crossbow and you've been cheering it on too, but you know,
I'm gonna seal the deal.
Peepaw's guide service over here.
Is it a compound limb or a recurve limb crossbow?
It's a compound.
Nice. And you've shot it a little bit or no?
No,
Not at all.
Nice. I mean,
I'm gonna shoot it.
if you could shoot
Saturday.
it, if you could
Crossbows.
shoot a gun, you can shoot a crossbow.
Exactly. It's a stick
I mean,
rifle.
yeah, it's
It's a
If
stick
you can,
rifle.
if you can dodge a
Stick
wrench,
rifle.
you can dodge a ball.
yes, exactly. I mean, I remember I shot like 5 times before I hunted with mine, and it was just like, boom. Okay, I'm a little high to the left. Boom, and I'm dead center.
There it is. So
and
are you
doom.
intimidated? Are you intimidated by like the compound bow at all? Like what's the difference in the crossbow and the?
Well, so I've never practiced with a compound bow or anything. Like,
Okay.
I mean, hunting. We use the term a lot. You know, adult onset hunting. You know,
Yeah.
like larger game like pigs. I mean, I just got my first pig a couple months ago. That's new to me. You know, I bought a Savage Arms. You know,
308 or
it was
30-06
a
or
243 with came with a scope.
Because his first rifle
Rifle
was
was
a 243.
This is fresh. Oh God.
But Papa didn't give it to Daddy, and Daddy didn't give it to me. I bought it.
Continue.
But you know, a good buddy
This
of
is
ours,
stupid
they met
insanity.
Rob when we went down to the coast, and him and his brother-in-law Nate's a good buddy. They just really give me a lot of good advice, like early on hunting. I had questions, and they just dealt with me. And they're like, yeah, you know what, this has been good for me. And Rob like showed us this picture of this beautiful Axis that he took down. He's like, yeah, use that 243, man. Like, it'll be great for what you're doing. So bought that. Hadn't done anything just yet with it, and this season, Austin offered. He's like, "Hey, man, I think you put in work out here, blah blah. Like, why don't you take a doe down? Like, get a doe this year." And I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do it with?"
Yeah.
And Abe found me a crossbow, and so I just I haven't gotten there yet. And so this season, we'll do
You're
the
getting
crossbow.
there.
We'll try it out.
Yeah.
I'll get a doe.
But you have that Savage. So if things don't come together during crossbow season, you'll have.
Oh, yeah,
So here's
right,
the problem
yeah.
with Van Zandt
Yeah.
County. You cannot during rifle season. You can
No does?
No does.
That's so.
It's a weird county.
And then there's weird regulations on the bucks, right?
Yeah, I mean,
13 inches.
13-inch basket or 1 on branched antler.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when it comes to rifle season, we'll be hunting somewhere else, so
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna take down
Yeah.
an Axis. That would be the dumb
y'all-
luck, though. It really would be. We talked about
me
this.
too.
Your first deer.
No, so the spot we're going to, they've seen some Axis out there, and I'm just talking about. I was
They're like coming into the feeders.
No,
there's just-
there's a front pasture. It's Jordan's parents' place. it's down the hill country. There's a lot of high fence around it, and there's a lot of access down there in general. And they said that lately they've been seeing some access in this front pasture, which is pretty close to the house. So they only bow hunt it, and Jordan's got one stand up. There's a pile of whitetail, like groups of 30 run through
Yeah,
there.
the hill in hill country.
Mm-hmm.
And them being surrounded by high fence properties, there's not a lot of places to go, and nobody hunts out there. So yearly we'd kind of go just do a deer drive and shoot a couple of piece and just
Nice.
smoke them.
I mean,
It's
I hunted out of a stand. Well, see, the first day we got there, I hunted. Lauren killed her deer. We all kind of rallied back up at the house. We went and dumped. Jordan and I went and dumped the guts. I had a gun in the side by side. Doe pops up. I jump out. Boom! Drop her. Put her in. Clean her up. And then we go and shoot. Then we took the morning off. Then we went and had to go get ice because by the time we cut that up, it was the middle of the afternoon. And got ice, came back, and we're like, all right, let's go do this again. He drops one. I drop one. Like, after we picked his up and put it in the car, we were driving back out.
Oh, there's one. Boom! Shoot that
Dropped that
deer.
and just dropped that back out.
So like being a Cali boy coming out here, right? My wife and I want to see the hill country. We go down to Fredericksburg,
Wimberley.
Yep,
Wimberley?
right in that area.
Wimberley.
Yeah, so we're staying at this little Airbnb, and it's kind of out in a more rural area. It's this little trailer, the Airbnb is, and it's out in this kind of like pasture area. At night, I go out to the car to get some shit out of the car. I got my LED light, and I see a couple eyes while I'm getting some shit out of the
Yeah.
car. And then I put the light up in the pasture, and it's got this like nice beam on it. The whole field lights up with eyes staring back
Deer.
Yeah.
at me. Like it felt like hundreds of eyes
Yeah.
just everywhere. And I thought, this is where I want to be. Like,
Yeah.
so spoiler alert, I've never killed a deer. So
It's okay.
Neither
So-
have I.
I'm like, damn, this is where I want to be. Like, I've never seen this many deer up in DFW. Like,
Oh, no. There's
this is where I want to be.
when you between like San Antonio and Ingram, I was driving out there one night and I saw what looked to be the Serengeti because there was no whitetail, all black
African
buck
animals.
and axis
Yeah.
on low fence, just free range,
Yeah.
just amazing
Yeah.
selection. And you're like, what in the hell?
Yeah, driving through hill country, we see like access on the side of the road, just like dead.
Yeah.
We're like, what the?
How long has this been dead? Can I get
Exactly.
I mean, my brother from driving back and forth from here to Houston all the time, he's like, dude, there's so many animals. He's like, I see pigs all the time and deer. And I was like, I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, there's just kind of a whole lot of emptiness on in between,
A lot
you know?
of lot of woods, a lot of forest. A lot
Y'all
of
familiar
water.
with like the laws surrounding
Wild roadkill.
roadkill? Yeah.
Whitetail's big no go.
You have to.
You
call
think
it
if you
on
call
game.
if you call a warden and you're like, hey, you mind if I take this and put my tag on it?
They
You can try.
depend
no
on the
way
warden.
they do that because they're testing every single
For
every
CWD.
yeah,
Yeah.
every single one gets
Chris
CWD.
Farrell was talking about they spray paint them or something when they test them. So
Yeah,
they-
big red X on it
Yeah. So if you ever see one spray painted with a red X,
with no head.
yeah, they take the head off. And,
No shit.
but
You
as
could-
far as non-game,
They
like
take the head off and they leave it on the road.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just take like a rate like
Buzzards.
sorry a
I don't know.
officer does this?
Yeah, I
Like
guess
a-
so.
They wouldn't throw the whole thing in the bed of their truck.
It's just what you're told.
I mean, and
Because
here's
I
this work
get it.
here,
I
man.
trust
my
you.
thing. I can imagine that it happens in some places at a rate that you're just like, Jesus Christ, this is all I do.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it's kind of like you get to that point where it's like pigs. You're just like, nope, I'm not.
No, just no.
But I mean, I would bet if you called, depending on the warden, but I bet if you called, said, I watched this deer get hit, could you come out? They'll issue you They'll issue you a permit, like a.
Will they?
I've seen on Lone Star Law them do it,
Oh yeah.
but
As far as non-game, like say you hit an axis, or the car in front of you does, and keeps driving like non-game, I chuck that thing in the back of my truck.
I
I mean, we should verify that though.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
I know
I mean,
some,
I think
some
it's-
states will issue a permit to allow you to
yeah,
collect
oh yeah.
roadkill.
I
Texas
saw
is a
on the-
weird one about it. A lot of states are just like, whatever. Yeah, call us and let us know. And
I think that I kind of take Ranella's approach. Like, if I'm gonna get popped for a game
Yeah.
violation, like that
I'm-
would be
I'm
the one I would be
I'm
like,
taking,
meh,
I'm taking
like,
meat.
yeah, I'm not gonna get popped for anything. Like, I mean, I'm real careful about shooting bucks in an AR county, and if there's a
Absolutely.
line, I'm just like, nope,
But
not at all.
I mean, like an axis is a non-game animal.
Yeah.
There's no season. There's no limits. So how could you be breaking the law?
which means we can hunt them at night with the night vision.
Not in
Yeah.
the front pasture.
Aren't you allowed to? Or
Yeah.
no?
Oh yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe
We're
they're
about-
in the
we're-
back
we've
pasture
been-
in the middle
we-
of the day.
My man, I like where his
Chase
head's
it with the side by side. Soon as it walks that gate. Blatch! Jordan wants me to drag ours down there too, so we have an extra one.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Maybe should I take the 4-wheeler down there?
You think you'll ever run one over with the side by side?
Run what over?
Axis?
No way.
No.
Too fast?
Not
Look
that
at
you,
his face.
Not that you wouldn't try to. There's no way you could catch that thing.
It'll do 50.
Yeah, but in a straight line, and I mean,
I'd sure try.
no, I don't doubt that you wouldn't give it a college try.
I mean,
like I
that
would try to
double-
beat a
that's- that my little AR with the suppressor. I'd be hanging outside that fucker.
just Texas Heart shot that thing. Well,
There's a big buck out there too. I want to shoot this year. There's a big 10 or 12 point. I got it less than 100 yards too last year.
Down in hill country?
Mm-hmm.
Which I hear they don't get like super big down there.
Bodies, no. There's
There's-
some good. There's good rack
Rack.
genetics, but
I mean, on the
what's the-
game ranches, they'll get big
Yeah.
just because they're just. But I mean, we feed year-round protein down, and I'm in Cuero, and there's.
Cuervo.
I heard on the Texas
Cuero.
OU game they talked to a guy, and he's from Cuero, and the announcer was like, "From Cuero." I was like, "Oh, well, that's the way that's pronounced." Yeah, he's just small deer. I mean, even
it's because the southern part of the
yeah,
range.
I
It's,
just
you know,
I shot
Oklahoma
him.
deer way bigger than Texas.
I shot
deer.
like a 4.5, 5-year-old buck last year, and he was just
You forgot you had a headset on, didn't you?
No,
100 and,
Just, like,
Just
don't put
fidgety.
that on.
110 pounds, 115 pounds. He just wasn't very big,
Yeah.
and he was old. But well,
well,
it's happening this weekend. I can feel it.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Stay tuned.
Sunday night maybe. I mean, Saturday's new moon. Sunday morning's gonna be the ticket.
That's why I'm surprised you don't want to go Sunday morning.
I may go both. I don't know.
Let's just camp.
I mean,
Steph's out of town this weekend, dude. So
you're single, ready to mingle.
we'll do morning.
My
and
parents
then-
are in town, or I would be there. Friday night, I would live there, like I did opening
Mhm.
weekend.
Maybe not. I still really want to go to the gun show Sunday.
Just go to range and sight in that night vision too.
There's going to be more gun shows. There's not going to be more your first deer.
There's not going to be any gun shows this year. That's before the election.
Yeah. Jesus.
We've got plenty of guns.
Do you realize
you
who
guys
the
do.
largest?
You can use any of mine anytime you want. I've got plenty of guns you can
All
use.
right. Well, thanks for tuning in on this episode. This is a conversation that we're going to have off air.
It's gonna go sideways. Yeah, let's be done.
Anyways, awesome, dude. Pleasure to
Thank
meet
you
you,
so
man.
much.
thanks for
Yeah,
having
man.
me
We're
on.
stoked
I
that you
can't
came
wait
out.
to do some hunting with you.
I'd love to. Yeah.
You're gonna have
It'll
to
be
show us
fun.
Grapevine.
Yeah. I mean, I got like one or two spots that I know like the back of my hand. That's about
We'll
it.
get out run around the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hop in that
That's
surface
fun.
drive. That looks awesome.
The
That
Armada.
Jared's got a boat now. Abe's, so we're gonna run 3 boats this year.
I have mainly in the past hunted by myself.
Sure.
So I look forward to like
Yeah.
potentially hunting with making it like a community thing. You know,
Ducks
Oh,
is
hunting with
You're
other.
gonna,
Like,
like,
other
so here's how
folks.
it rolls with us.
Four
Before
grown men
we
yelling
wrap
at each
this
other.
up, we get out way earlier than we need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
To get our spot.
But that's when the adventure starts, right? Like start
Oh,
the
yeah.
bullshit as soon as y'all
Yeah, and
get
then-
together.
And then we get out there, we wander around, really decide what we're going to do. And then we splash around and drink coffee and sit on the boat for
Adjust
an hour
your
or two.
spread 3 or 4
And
times.
then-
before the sun comes up.
And then we throw the spread. And then we argue about the spread and move the spread. Then we move the spread again. Then we sit in our spots. And after the first group flares off, I move the spread again and decide that everything
Then
we've
you
ever
turn the
done
mojo
as
off.
far as duck
See, I
hunting is
feel
wrong.
like I've definitely like I feel like this year you and I are going to be like Jordan and Jared are probably going to be like, whatever, man, you do whatever you want. I'm going to be like, nah, bro, like we need to do it this way.
So I have ideas for spreads, but I know you two well enough, and especially him. I'm in the passenger seat for this one for sure.
See, that's the way I was at first. Now
Well,
I'm
not
like,
even in the
nah,
passenger
man.
seat. I'm in the back seat.
Like
on
teal
this one.
season, the two of us were like, nah, dude, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong.
Have you ever done this
Yeah,
before?
what is wrong with you?
I'm in the back seat on this one. Like I haven't
Yeah.
even gotten like.
We've got a fun opening day idea for a video too.
Chasing video.
Yeah.
Hugh
Thanks,
Brantley.
everybody.
Yeah, we're
Hugh
done
Brantley.
now.
We'll check you out next time.
Follow us on Instagram.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Aim, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.